and welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about... Don't tell me somebody's calling you right now.
No.
Okay.
Oh no, it's a leaf blower. I heard the vibrating. I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, yeah.
It was perfectly timed.
My neighbor's got a leaf blower out. Yeah, I thought we were getting an early phone call from one of Dave's family members. Anyway, the podcast we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, reminiscing about our flying days, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about.
Indeed.
I am Mr. Jason Roscom. With me here each and every single week, the Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jason.
How are you?
I am awake.
Yes. Hopefully it stays that way for the remainder of the show.
Yes. If I nod off, just poke me with a stick or something.
Or draw dicks on him.
Don't do that.
I might do that. If he falls asleep mid-show, I think he deserves that. So.
I do have a knife on me.
How are you going to use it if you're asleep?
I don't know what I do. I don't know what I do if somebody messes with me in my sleep. I don't think anybody's really dared to try.
Well, it reminds me of the Dave Chappelle bit from one of his stand-ups where he's like, the problem about passing around white people is they always do some borderline gay shit when the guy's asleep.
This is true.
Frank fell asleep and we stuck a carrot up his ass, put shaving cream on his balls. And I can say that I've experienced that here and there.
Yeah, I've
over
seen
the
it.
years.
I've definitely seen it done, especially in a dorm environment.
Yeah, dorms, and then back in high school too. We'd always fuck with each other when we were having like sleepovers and somebody fell asleep first.
I'm a very light sleeper.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
So even medicated, I think there's when a dog moves around on the bed or something,
You just like wake up throwing punches?
Not anymore. Not as much. Like at least I take half a beat before I fucking
before you lash out.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately.
Wow, we could probably do a whole episode on this.
Probably.
But instead, what are we doing an episode on today?
Hey, we're catching up on the Bad Batch today.
That's right.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Three new episodes of the Bad Batch.
Not bad sleeping habits of interesting people.
My penis is so smooth.
Okay, I don't know where that came from. But...
that's what I meant to hit. But all right,
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
That's what we do.
Do it live.
I'm hitting buttons, people.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing. We're hitting buttons.
So, are we gonna address your sleep problems, or are we just gonna?
We're just gonna move on.
Okay, fine. Then I guess we should
move along.
I guess we should talk about Patreon next then, right?
You talk about Patreon. Well, right. I'll be over here drinking Diet Coke.
Alrighty. Well, we'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our current patrons. My wonderful mother-in-law, Patricia Goodstein, Don Solsky, who won the giveaway last week.
He did.
And I've gotten confirmation that he did receive his audiobook. So
there you go.
Congratulations.
Sweet.
The Orange and Fett Show,
It's a celebration.
Dragon Buddy, Sterling Azier, Helen Martin, Chantal from Pop My Culture, Ivo G, Scott and Kim from Used and Abused, Catherine Rennick, Tina Land, Frederick Martin, Wally Frogmore, Lord Helmet Fire, Carly Vickers, David Schmuck, Frank Kalevich, Nick from Sweet Studios, Kristen Roscom, Shuck and Mark, and Brady Big Lovin'. Haven't heard from Shuck. No, RJ.
I'll finger his butt here. Hang on.
Yeah, haven't seen anything from Shotgun Mark lately. I know he's still alive out there, but haven't heard much from him recently. But we know you're still listening. If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/the Sidebar Cantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. You are the reason why we do this.
Hit him.
Oh,
there he is.
Sorry.
See, I got him right where he wants it.
Okay.
He likes it right there.
You found the good finger position, just right underneath, and just tickle a little bit.
Yep, I got my position down and everything.
He's very startled.
See, he likes it. That's the I like it sound.
All right, fair enough. What do we got for sidebar headlines?
Sidebar headlines. No news is good news. Cardi.
B.
Just says that's what it says. No news is good news, comma, Cardi.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That's what it says. I just read what the headlines are.
All right. You don't analyze it. You don't think,
Nope.
Maybe.
Look, Lunar Girl has got a lot going on. She's taking care of the fam. She was running around today, and I'm just happy she updated the notes. I'm sure there's a reason. Party on Wayne. That's she just now updated it. Just like literally just this second.
We're doing it live.
Yep.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
So no news is good news.
Yes.
Party on, Wayne.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, cool.
We'll edit that out.
No, we won't. So,
Remember there was a time when you would edit all that shit?
yeah. I think that lasted a good 50 episodes or so
I
before
can't believe it lasted that long. Holy shit.
before I'm like, I can't do this. Because I was literally spending like 3 hours editing.
Dude.
Like taking out all the ums and ahs and
Dude, fuck that.
yeah, it became too much.
People deal with our ums and ahs.
And you knows.
No, that forget it. It'd be 5 minutes of me talking. Why doesn't Dave talk during the podcast? Well, it's because we edit out the you know.
Right. Okay, so moving on. We got our tickets for Phantom Menace.
We
the
did.
re-release. Woo! We're seeing it on the 3rd, the
Right.
evening of the 3rd. And even though I've told Kristen about it at least twice now, she texted me again today and is like, "We're seeing a movie together?" I'm like, "Yes, the Phantom Menace re-release."
Probably because she was with Kathy, and I told Kathy that Kristen is going, so
Yeah.
that's why Kathy's going to go.
Yeah,
So, yeah, they're probably talking about it when they were hanging out together today. So,
right. But again, I've told her multiple times.
is it on the calendar? Do you like?
We don't do a calendar.
Oh, see, if it's not on the calendar,
Then it doesn't exist.
It can't happen.
Yeah.
In fact, I got to make sure that it's on the calendar. Now that I've said that.
So in addition to us getting our tickets, which went on sale, I think it was last Tuesday at noon, they also announced that as part of this, the May 4th, celebration and re-release, they're doing the marathon.
It's a celebration.
In certain cities. In fact, there's a marathon that's fairly close to here at the King of Prussia Theater.
Right.
The only problem is it's the shittiest timing ever because we've talked about it. We do a fucking marathon if given the opportunity.
Yeah.
But that also happens to be the weekend of the Fan Expo here in Philadelphia,
That's
which
right.
is, 10 minutes away. And they've announced like most of the people that are going to be there. And it's Hayden Christensen, Rosario Dawson, the actors that play Ezra and Sabine in Ahsoka, fucking D. Bradley Baker, the voice of all the clones, the one guy who does every voice in fucking Bad Batch, Ashley Eckstein. Just so many Star Wars personalities, and they're doing this big thing on May the 4th, that Saturday,
Right.
here in Philadelphia, and there's no fucking way we're not going to go to that.
Yeah, and plus I've already bought my autograph signing and everything else with Adam
Yeah.
Savage. Like, yeah, the Fan Expo we've had booked.
Yeah.
So the timing does suck, but we're gonna have a whole Star Wars experience
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
on May the 4th. So we're not really missing any. We're not really missing it, Bob.
Right. But it's shitty, and I don't know. I'm upset that we're missing out on the marathon, but I get it.
Yeah.
Just
What time are we seeing the movie?
it's the Friday night, May 3rd, like 6:30, I think.
6:30. Okay. I'm doing it live here because I will forget.
Yeah. And so speaking of the Fan Expo, one of the things that they're doing is Hayden and Rosario are doing pictures together, because you know how you can get a picture with a celebrity.
Oh,
well, they're
wow.
doing like dual photo op. So it's like the two of them and you can be right in the middle, just like,
Wonder if will they have lightsabers?
maybe.
That would be fucking cool.
Maybe, or maybe we could bring them and hand them to them. Will you hold this while we take the picture? But it ain't cheap.
No.
So I don't know. I'm considering doing it, but I think it's a little bit too expensive for my.
Yeah, I got one experience that I'm like, no. You just want to get fingered again. That's RJ's thing.
Yeah, he likes Dave's finger up his butt.
Yeah, I got the one experience. I got the autograph and a picture, and like that's my thing.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
I'll take pictures from afar for the rest of
Yeah.
it.
Well, I'm definitely getting autographs from, at a minimum, Hayden and Rosario. I'm gonna have them sign some Black Series figures.
Nice.
But like, I really do want to get in the line for everybody. The Natasha, whatever her name is, Sabine, and
Right.
the Ezra guy. I don't really care as much about, quite frankly, because we barely saw him in the Ahsoka series anyway.
Right.
I'd much more be interested in meeting the voice actor who did him in Rebels.
Yeah.
But anyway,
they're gonna be mobbed too. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Saturday's going to be.
It's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
I'm gonna fucking have to eat like a handful of Xanax or something
Yeah.
while I'm in there.
Oh, and Bob Healy's gonna be there too. So
Okay.
he's coming to get some of his lightsabers signed. So
Nice.
it's gonna be a party celebration.
It's a celebration.
So
I don't have the drop. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
yeah. So anyway, was my wife chatting? What is she saying? She's just saying hi to people. So she's. There it is. He told me. Wait, no. Damn it. Chat's moving too fast. He told me once. Bullshit.
So Lunar Girl was asking if anyone got pics of the penumbral eclipse last night. I think Helmet Fire was actually out there. He was talking about trying to get something set up to get some pictures. Big ass full moon last night.
Yeah, and lately, in the mornings when I drive to work, it's like low on the horizon, so it looks like it's 5 times as big. It's fucking awesome. I love that.
Death Star hanging out there.
Yeah. I love it when it's like that. I'm sure I've told the story when I saw that for the first time and I freaked the fuck out. I thought the moon was about to crash into the earth.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I was like 16. I had just gotten my license. I'm driving home at night from somewhere, and like I can see it because there's no trees or anything in my hometown. It's all just like flat desert land. And I'm looking in the distance and I see the moon like 3/4 of it is still exposed. The rest of it's starting to go down the horizon, and it looks so fucking huge. I'm like, oh.
Like, no, we're all gonna die. No,
Yeah.
I haven't even got laid yet.
Yeah, and that would have been true at that time. But yeah, that was long before I learned about the magnification effect of it being on the low horizon.
Right.
But anyway, we digress. So
Yeah.
the Acolyte trailer came out last week.
It did.
And we haven't actually talked about it, and I thought maybe we could watch it here on the show.
Yeah, let's do that.
And kind of break it down a little bit. Oh,
We're gonna break it down.
yeah.
Break it down.
If I can ever get my screen share working. So again, I know everybody's probably seen this already, but we haven't actually talked about it on the show. So.
And something that we're going to be able to do when we go to the Phantom Menace on the 3rd
Yes.
is they have an Acolyte. There's going to be like some extended release thing that they're going to have.
Yeah,
for
like a
the
preview,
Acolyte.
kind of like what happened with Rogue One and Andor.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that, even though, God, May the 3rd seems like it's so far away, but like Vickers and I are we're going to be in like 2 weeks. We're going to be doing the fucking, the Eclipse.
Yep.
And then a few weeks after that, we're going to be at the Fan Expo. And it's like, and then next thing you know, like fucking, it's summertime. All right. And it's like, what the fuck? It's the year's half over. It's craziness.
Mhm.
It's absolute craziness.
Yep.
All right, let's see it.
All right, so let me share. Oh, okay, I'm already sharing it.
Yeah.
So you guys should be able to hear it. And
If not, fuck it.
Yep, and play.
Close your eyes.
So we start with that Jedi Master. I'm not sure what his name
Your
is.
eyes.
Which, by the way, apparently this guy can't speak English. I guess they just fed him his English dialogue.
Oh, really?
And he said it because like he was at Celebration. What was it, last year? And like he had a translator on stage as they were like asking questions, and then she was translating for him back and forth. But either way, I mean, he pulled it off. He sounds decent. So
Can deceive you.
now, and that's that they pulled that right from New Hope. Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
Right.
We must not trust them.
So we get
Some
this.
Ralph McQuarrie fucking art.
Oh yeah, that archway there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got the girl, the acolyte, her walking in her purple robes.
Tell me what comes into your mind.
Life.
Whenever I see like that before she said life, when you go back,
Go back a little bit.
and you're looking at like that.
This little cantina looking thing.
Yeah, like having been to Black Spire now, like it just
Oh yeah.
it puts me in that mindset. Like, fuck, man, I feel like we were just there. Fucking
Yep.
crazy.
And this is being pulled straight from Last Jedi when Luke is, telling Rey to reach out. What do you see? Light, dark,
Life.
life,
Balance.
balance.
I see fire.
So this girl sees fire. So the prevailing theory is that oh my God, is that this little girl is that acolyte that we see. Like this is years before that. So and she's the one seeing fire.
Yeah, fire, fire, yeah.
Oh my God.
Fire.
We've already talked about Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
And then we get what's her name? Trinity from
Trinity, yeah.
from the Matrix. Fuck, what is her name again?
Trinity.
Right. Sorry, my mistake.
Doesn't have a real name.
Yeah. And then we get this is something that
Now we have Trinity fighting.
yes, Matrix style.
Right.
Where they're really kind of leaning on the martial arts
Mm-hmm.
because I guess one of the directors that they got that directs 2 of the episodes of this is like some big like well-known martial arts guy in
I can dig it. Honestly.
one of those countries. So continuing. Fighting the young acolyte who wears a ninja mask for some reason, or she's afraid of COVID. I don't know, but
COVID's still a thing.
sure. It's June.
Someone is killing Jedi.
Someone's killing Jedi, and I don't know if we're supposed to assume that it's this gal, but it seems to be where they're pointing us.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
We got a very brief glimpse of the Wookiee Jedi, who, from what I hear, should be playing a big part in this.
What happened?
I sensed darkness.
And so we got him fighting against the gal who apparently was his apprentice before. An age of light. Darkness rises. And then again, we get a straight up Matrix shot where
Right.
she's just like,
Yeah.
like straight up stopping her blade.
This isn't about good or bad.
Oh, I love this line that this lady says. It's not about good or bad.
This is about power and who is allowed to use it.
It's about power and who is allowed to use it. And that's straight up to me referring to the Jedi,
Yeah.
They have the power and they have kind of created this system to where only they get to use it.
Yeah. And if you're not one of them, you're a baddie.
Yeah. Yep. And then we see what looks like our acolyte, I don't know, walking up to somebody, some cloaked figure in the distance.
What is that?
And then we get a flying red lightsaber. And then a bunch of other lightsabers. So, yeah, fucking nice badass little tease there at the end. On Disney Plus, June 4th.
So the only thing I watching this for the first time, the only thing that bothered me was Trinity. Like Trinity kind of took me out of it because one of the things that you always appreciate about
Carrie
Star
Ann
Wars.
Moss, that's her name.
Who cares?
Okay.
It always you appreciate about Star Wars is that you look at somebody and like this is they're not bigger than Star Wars, right?
Sure, yeah.
So when you're in this, you put somebody in a role that's like, okay, the Matrix was one of the biggest movies ever, right? And now you have her in this role suddenly,
Yeah.
and this Acolyte is not going to be a major Star Wars motion picture, right? This is a show.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It bothered me that like, okay, do we have to get like, do we need Trinity for this? Like to validate the Matrix moves? Maybe they had her harness. I don't know.
It's one of those things where it's I'm fine with her being in it, but why do you have to like mimic some of these Matrix moves that we've seen?
And look, the Force and the Matrix and like all this other stuff. I'm whatever. It's fine. It's just it's something that I'm sure once we see a few episodes of it, it'll feel more natural because we're
Yeah.
only getting these like clips.
Yeah,
right?
and she's not a main character in this at all, so she might bite the bullet like in the first episode for all we
Perfect.
know.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, she might be the first Jedi that's getting killed. You know,
Well, RJ's upset about that,
he
but
is.
and I'm fine with that. Like, go ahead. Thanks, Trinity. Thanks for the promo here, but
Mhm.
you gone. That's that, and this is another one of those shows where I'm like, this has such potential
Mm-hmm.
because it's just going to be about like this. It's like a Ronin type. It's about the fighting. It's
Mhm.
about the power, and no. Did you see a single Skywalker reference? Did you
Nope.
see a single? There was no Yoda.
Nope. Even
There's-
though we know he's alive in this.
Right. You didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
So if we can keep all of that shit at bay, we don't need to talk about that at all.
No.
Let's just have a fucking storyline that doesn't involve any of that shit and just fucking tell this story using the dynamic characters that can be created from fucking Star Wars because it's such an amazing fucking story and there are more characters than just the ones that they
Yeah.
keep
Because it's
pounding
so
into our faces.
it's this universe is so big. You know, it doesn't have to be about this small little window in this galaxy. You know, you can really open it up, and this seems like they're starting to do that. Hopefully.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
It has potential,
Yes.
but like Rob at work, he's like, yeah, I think I stole some of his verbiage, but then he also said at the end of it, it's like, yeah, and I'm also going to wait for you to watch a couple episodes and tell me if it's good. Because that's what I did with Andor, because he wasn't
Right.
going to watch Andor. I'm like, dude, you got to watch Andor.
Yeah.
Like, stop being a pain in the ass and just fucking watch Andor.
Yeah.
And
Did
so,
did Isaac really just come in and just say hi to me and just, you know, fuck you to Dave? I'm fine with that, by the way.
where did Isaac? Oh, hello, Jason.
Hello, Isaac.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, I agree. Fuck Dave.
What the? All right, fine.
All right. So yeah, no, for me though, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going in. Obviously, there's some things there that may give me caution, but again, I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm more trying to be positive, and I'll get into some of that when I get into my week. But yeah, that's it. Anything else from you on the trailer?
Nope.
All right, then are we ready to get into our weeks?
Before we get into our weeks,
Mhm.
I wanted to bring up the background.
Oh,
real
I
quick.
just remembered something else I wanted to bring up too.
So if you're watching us on YouTube, you see our background. We have the quick stop groceries kind of background that is taken from a picture
Yeah, let's see if nope.
that we took. What are you doing?
I'm trying to see if there's a way to like move our faces temporarily, but it's not working. Never mind. Carry on.
It's fine. I mean, it's us leaning against the
Quick stop.
quick stop. But that picture was taken 5 years ago, this past week, or this over the past few days. Right? What's today? Today's the
25th.
25th.
Yep.
So like the 22nd, 23rd time frame
Yep.
is when Brady and Don made their appearance.
Yeah, they made
Here-
the trek. They drove from Michigan.
Yeah, to Starkiller Studios.
Yeah, for our 100th episode.
Sight unseen.
Yeah.
The 100th episode display, which is behind Vader's head back there.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was our frolicking around Philly. You know, the stuff came up on Facebook, and it was fucking 5 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, and that was the kind of the beginning for those guys.
Yeah, for the escape pod. Yeah.
Yeah, and what a fucking drunken nightmare that not nightmare, but Jesus Christ. What Brady have, like 35 fucking Coronas?
Oh God.
Like-
Yeah. I mean, we were all feeling pretty good, but like
Yeah.
you and him especially were.
Yeah, that was after so much driving and everything too. It's just
Yeah.
like I'm unwinding. Right. Yeah, it was a thing.
I had that Corona case box in the studio here for.
Oh, we
months
had it,
after
yeah,
that.
months, and then it sat outside for like another month.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was 5 years ago. It's just strange to think about that. It was that much time has passed.
Yeah.
But yeah, those guys came back from visiting us, and then they started their own fucking gig, and they're encroaching on 200 episodes of their own, aren't they?
They're not past 200 yet?
I don't know. I thought they were coming up on 200.
Okay,
so
maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's been long enough.
Yeah.
Huh.
Right. How many episodes? Hey, are they in the chat? I haven't seen any of them. DB.
Kelly's there. Dragon Buddy's there.
DB, how many episodes you guys at?
Write it in the chat. All right.
Put it in the chat.
And while we're waiting for that, did you see the Beetlejuice sequel trailer?
I did.
I got to say, man, I am really looking forward to this. I fucking loved the original Beetlejuice. I've seen that movie fucking 50 times. It's one of those ones we owned on VHS growing up, so I saw it a lot.
Right.
But yeah, no, I fucking love the original. It seems like they're keeping the right mood for this sequel.
It's weird. It's weird seeing Winona Ryder and and you've got fucking Michael Keaton
coming back as Beetlejuice. And then you throw the new like it goth girl fucking Jenna Ortega in there. And it's perfect. What?
Oh, I was trying to, I don't know. Anyway, brain. It's my brain. It's so big.
Yeah.
I know. I did see this. Why did I see this trailer?
Did it pop up in your YouTube feed? And then you're like, well, I have to watch it.
What were we doing? Like it.
Is this really the time to?
Well, no. I'm trying to figure out why I saw it because I don't watch television, right? So I'm trying to figure out why I would have saw the trailer. Because I saw it, but what was I watching where I would have saw the trailer?
Were you on YouTube or Instagram, social media, something?
Maybe it showed up on Instagram. I don't know, but I did see it, and yes, I am intrigued that it's going to have those parts. I saw last year. I saw the Beetlejuice on the Broadway show, which was good. It was funny.
Yeah,
it was really funny.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
I remember you talking about.
It wasn't exactly like the movie, but yeah, it's when is it coming out?
Oh, I don't think it's until September.
Okay,
so we got a while.
So we got time.
Yeah,
we got time. I shared it on Instagram. Fuck, dude. All right.
Dave, you're killing me.
I wish I was drinking to be able to blame drinking for this.
Right.
Because no, it's just my fucking brain. So
good times.
Awesome.
All right. So we're ready to get to our
Escape
weeks?
Pod's at 186 episodes.
Okay. Very
Thank
good.
you.
So you were
Scott.
correct.
Yes.
So they're getting there.
I am correct.
All right.
About something. Just not my own brain.
Anyway, so moving on to our weeks, I have some new additions to
The sacred Jedi Pixies!
So first of all, I realized the Ahsoka Black Series figures have been out for a while now, and of course I picked up some of them. Right, I got Ahsoka, Hera, Sabine, Ezra, Baylan, Shin, but there were still some that I was missing. So I'm like, oh, I guess I should probably start picking some of these up. So I started with Huyang. So the lovable robot who wears a skirt for some reason.
Well, it's an apron because
he's cooking.
No,
lightsabers.
Because he's building. Yeah, he's cooking lightsabers. No, he's cooking meth.
Right.
Oh, he has the additional arms. That's cool. He has like a little pack.
Like the training arms where he's going all fucking Grievous.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like Huyang.
Interesting lightsaber.
Yeah. Oh wait, what? I didn't even look. What is a lightsaber?
See it down at the bottom?
Oh
Bottom
yeah.
Right?
Huh.
No blade on it, but
no. Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, it's Huyang. He looks good. Kind of hard to fuck up a droid. But yeah. So
that's a good one.
Remember when I said I ordered one on eBay like a month ago now, and it got lost in the mail somewhere in California? So
you did.
I messaged the person. And I was being very nice. Like, I was not trying to put any pressure. I'm like, hey, man, I don't know if you looked at the tracking for this, but it looks like it's been lost in the mail. And I'm like, do you have any way to, like, contact the post office, see what's going on with it? Like, again, I didn't ask for a refund. I wasn't being mean. I'm just like, hey, this is happening. What's going on? Immediately I get a refund. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, all right. And then I use that credit to rebuy the same figure, just from a different vendor. And that figure that I've been waiting a long time to get my hands on is this guy.
Look at him.
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi with the Star Wars, the old school Kenner packaging. And look at Obi-Wan himself. He is in the orange robes with that fucking, that vinyl robe that came with the original toy.
Yeah.
They recreated that in the Black Series figure.
I remember.
I was telling you about this before. Yeah.
Yes. It was a while back.
Yeah. And he's still pretty cheap. Like, he's not like over expensive or anything. I don't know where the hell people are finding them, but clearly they're somewhere.
The detail work on that fucking face.
Yeah. And yeah, as far as I know, this is the only Black Series figure, maybe the Spirit Ghost one too, that has Alec Guinness's face on it. Because most Obi-Wan figures are obviously fucking what's his name? So
Ewan McGregor?
Yeah.
No. Is that his name?
Ewan McGregor, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, you don't really get too many Alec Guinness figures these days.
I honestly, can I just leave this as the image for the rest of the show?
Just them fighting?
Yeah, I would rather look at this than my own face for the next 2 hours. Is that possible? I think everyone else would like that too.
All right.
But look at the fucking, because look at the background. Like, this is everything, like the original film, right? It has everything that you love about the Death Star.
Yeah.
Right?
That
When
uniformity and the wall styles.
When they came up with that fucking aesthetic,
yeah,
it created this environment that it
holds to this day.
To this day, when we were standing there in Galaxy's Edge, and that parts of the ride where you're just like, oh fuck, it just like everything looked exactly right. Like it just like, I want this aesthetic. I want everything about this aesthetic. I want these parts of the walls to line up, all of it. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So all right, I've got a bit of a rant coming here. I'm gonna be delving a little bit into politics, and I apologize, but we typically do not do politics, and quite frankly, this is probably one of the last times I'll ever bring it up anyway.
Right.
So it started with the Acolyte trailer, right?
Okay.
Because, you know, it's the clickbait and the fucking reactions, and that's all the rave on YouTube. And of course, you've got this sect of, you can't even call them Star Wars fans because they trash every single thing that comes out now.
Okay.
Like everything. And obviously, they had a fucking field day with the Acolyte trailer. And I got to a point where this has been building for a while because it's like politics bleeds into everything now, right? Like you can't be apolitical in any aspect of life anymore, which is fucking infuriating. And, you know, I've been following these YouTube channels that kind of all like lean in a certain direction that I lean politically, but it's gotten to the point now where everything is so fucking extreme and I hate it. I fucking hate it. There's so much hyperbole. It's like, this country is destroyed. Everything is fucking wrong. And this is, you know, we're going down the tubes. There's no saving America. And then, you know, you get these guys that treat the Star Wars shit the same way, right? It's just, It's the same fucking attitude towards just, you know, something else that they perceive as something that they don't like. And you know, with the fucking Acolyte trailer, you know, there's so much negativity. Like, Star Wars is destroyed forever, you know, is like the big fucking thumbnail. And I'm just like, really? Is it destroyed forever because there's a show with a black female lead? Like, come on, guys, fucking grow the fuck up. And I like snapped. Like, I had just this like moment where I'm like, I'm done with all of this stuff. I'm done with the fucking political pundits. I'm fucking done with all these fucking reaction people. I'm done with all of this. And I went through my YouTube and I did a massive fucking purge of all of the channels that I'm subscribed to.
Yeah.
And the only ones that are even somewhat political that I kept is like Joe Rogan, you know. But I like purged everything else. I purged all of these fucking Star Wars personalities that I used to follow that just like have become nothing but negativity. And then, cause you know, with the fucking algorithms, your feed still like feeds you all of this shit. Like, cause you go down these, and I see what they're saying when people go down these fucking rabbit holes with YouTube. You watch this one video and it's like, you know, leaning this one direction, and then they takes you a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper. And then the next thing you know, it's like, oh, this country's dying and they're trying to kill all the white people and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, okay, I've had enough. And I fucking I spend an hour just scrolling through my YouTube, and every time one of those things popped up as recommended, you can click the little box in the bottom right and say, do not recommend this channel. And I did that like for an hour, like getting rid of all of that stuff, the clickbaity shit, the fucking negative reaction stuff, the political stuff. And it's been fucking beautiful since I did that.
So it actually worked.
Yeah. Eventually, you know, and I still had to be a little proactive with like telling it to stop recommending certain channels, but it very quickly, once I finally did all of that, it, like my YouTube actually turned normal again. And it's just not like, you know, this never ending pit of despair, of just like more and more negativity and just like more of these hyperbolic political rants. And it's been great. And because I had sort of a revelation too, you know, because we're sitting here as fucking normal blue collar Americans, and you know, it seems like we're all fighting about the dumbest shit, you know, like the fucking transgenders and the fucking DEI and the border and all of this other stuff, and we're all fighting and arguing, and you're fucking wrong and fuck you and all this. And while we're doing this, the people that are running this country, not the politicians, but the billionaires that are running this country, are just sitting back laughing their asses off. Because do you remember the Occupy Wall Street movement that happened? We're fucking like 10 years removed from that at this point. Remember where it was like all these people like, no, these fucking billionaires are raping us, and they're keeping all the money for themselves. They're the top 1% own like almost all of the wealth in the country. And they started literally doing the Occupy Wall Street. It wasn't, how effective it was, you can debate it, but it was right after that is when the shift went from class warfare to all of this fucking the social shit, the abortion and the racial stuff and the fucking border and all of that stuff. Because the rich people are like, no, you don't want to fight about us, you know, because you guys need to fight against each other because of, you know, they want to, you know, teach kids about gay people in school and all this other stuff. And, you know, you keep consuming and keep working for us and everything. But, you know, don't look over here, look over there. Yeah. And it's been very enlightening now that I've kind of had this weird realization. And I'm sorry to bring it on the show like this, but.
Well, I mean, it's only going to get worse this year.
Yes. Yeah. And that's another reason why I'm doing this, because by the time we get to like fucking September,
oh, it's going to be horrific.
Oh God. I don't even want to turn on a screen for the months leading up to the fucking election.
So the beauty of like, we kind of like, cause I saw the note and I was kind of joking like, oh, YouTube purge, that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. Like for me, it's just, I subscribe to a lot of stuff that I just don't look at enough.
Yeah.
But all the stuff that like, if you scroll through my stuff, it's like a lot of nerd shit.
Yeah.
It's like space nerd stuff. Like, okay, this astronomy channel, this like, Star Talk and, airplane crashes, shit like that.
Yeah.
So the logarithm never really gets to politics. I think the closest political thing I have is probably Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then that Sean whatever guy. But even that.
You're not talking about Shane Gillis, are you?
No.
That guy's hilarious.
Oh, I love him.
His Trump impersonations are so good.
They're so perfect. Yeah. And look, I've said it on the pod, and I'll say it before, and I'll say it every time. It is. I take this standpoint of the best way to see both sides is to stand in the middle. And that's where I'm at.
And yeah,
and for me, honestly, like the entire conversation, like there has to be a level of ignorance for me, because otherwise I'll get worked up.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
I don't have the bandwidth to get worked up about it. I
Yep.
just don't.
And that's one of the reasons why I did this too, because I was following a lot of the right leaning pundits, and it kept like going further and further right, and then it's like to these guys that are just batshit fucking crazy. And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of crazy fucks on the left too, but
There's lots of crazy. And look, here's the real the real thing with like social media in particular. It is the level of manipulation that is happening.
Yes.
Like you're talking about.
Yes.
It's too easy to lead people where they need to go.
Yeah, and I'll fully admit I kind of fell victim to that.
Yeah, and this is why why TikTok, why these things are coming up on TikTok and everything else. And can we actually fix this via legislation or whatever? Who knows? I'm not a socialism major.
Yeah.
And
Well, again, at the end of the day, I think the politicians don't really give a fuck because it keeps us fighting against each other.
and honestly, what they're doing is they're grandstanding like they have always done.
Yeah.
But the reality is that every time I see shit like that, I look at it and go, we're seeing like you can only see into the ocean so deep.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're standing 1,000 feet above it, you're only going to see so deep.
Yeah.
And especially in current, as turbulent as the water is right now, you're not seeing very deep into this water.
Mm-hmm.
So I just keep that in mind when I look at this and go like, this is you're seeing the turbulence of this water, and underneath that it's calm because there's a lot of people that don't pay attention to this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they're living their lives.
Yes.
And that's where I want to be.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
what I'm
ignorance,
trying to do.
And unfortunately, ignorance is in fact bliss, and that's where I'm at. I mean, and quite frankly, and this is along those same lines. Like when you get somebody that says, if you are living a life of ignorance and you can't make any change, right? Because you get people that'll say that. My argument to that is, like, for me as an individual, I spent 24 years of my life, 23 years of my life in the service of this country.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Until you put yourself in my position, what level of sacrifice you were willing to make, I can sit here and be as ignorant as I fucking want to be.
Yeah.
I'll still vote. My patriotism is never going to be in question. You can go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be part of your fucking bandwagon to do anything to affect my judgment. I don't.
Yeah.
I fucking put my ass on the line for what I believed in. Right? We
Fucking
both
right.
can say that.
Oh yeah. So
everyone else can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
And that's how I live my life. Like, because there's so much, it's such nonsense. It's absolutely nonsense. And it's just, I watched my father go off the fucking deep end because of it.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. Oh dude, he fucking went just absolutely, he went so far like left. He went left and then fucking made another left and then made another left and then fucking got on a diving board and fucking dove off to the left. Dude, it was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah.
Bad to the point where like people were saying things to me thinking that I was him. This is when I changed my name.
Based on things he was posting on social media and stuff.
It's just why I'm a junior on fucking social media, because it's like, Jesus, I can't be associated with the things he was saying.
Yeah.
And this is an intelligent human being who also served his country, but let himself get manipulated in this. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be involved in it. And
Yeah.
nobody's going to walk up to me and say, well, like you need to be more involved and you need to pay more attention. No, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I did my part.
Yeah. Our responsibility is to our family.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wives, kids.
Yeah.
That's where our responsibility lies.
Yeah. What I need to do to make sure that they thrive and prosper That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Now, am I going to be an asshole? No, I still recycle. I drive an electric car. You
Yeah.
know, I try and do the right thing whenever possible.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I'm not going to let these fucking these political extremists dictate, you know, my beliefs.
Nope.
So, and then again, it started with social media. I did it with YouTube, and I think Facebook and Instagram are coming next. Unfollowing toxic people, unfollowing, you know, political pages and things like that, and just
Yeah, it's a good idea anyway,
Yeah.
and I think people that know me or have been friends with me for a while, like especially via social media, will tell you that my social media presence, like over the past few years, has definitely been a lot less.
oh yeah, same here.
And a lot of that has to do with like watching what happened with my father before he passed, and not that one thing contributed to the other, but it definitely there's a mental health aspect to that. And I know where my bandwidth needs to be. And as much, thank God we have Lunar Girl to fucking be on the socials and pay attention to what's going on, because for us to be effective as you know, podcasters, right, we really should be more in the social media and shit like that. But to put ourselves further out there, it only opens us up to, excuse me, more bullshit. So, excuse me. Anyway.
Smirking Bear's doing university homework. Be careful. That's where they get you.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of fucking Embry-Riddle, no, they did a sales thing where it's like, oh, well, you know, it's been a year since you've been in class. No, it's not. I just finished a class.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were just in a class like a month or two ago.
Yeah, when my dad died.
Yeah.
Like, I was in class when my dad died.
Yeah.
So, fuck you. I'm deliberately not answering them right now because I'm still in a go fuck yourself mentality. I got to wait till that passes.
Right.
And then I'll fucking...
Do you hold grudges for a long time?
I don't... Not anymore.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way.
It's like...
I'm trying to let things go more and more often.
Yeah, I'll let things go, but to a point. I mean, there's some stuff where you can definitely burn your bridge with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be... I still have this general lack of fucking humanity can go fuck itself type thing. Like, that's just something I struggle with in therapy, where like the shelter was one of these things that really pushed me over the edge with it. Like, I already had a thing against homeless people because of some things that happened. You know, some experiences I had, and after the shelter, I was like, they all like, no, no, absolutely not. Like, I'm generally speaking, like, I'm compassionate. I'm a compassionate, loyal person that is very giving of my time for causes and things like that. But not necessarily for everything.
Yeah.
And if you're on the wrong side of that, it's going to be really hard. Like, I can fake it, but if I'm going to get a read on you that says that like you're not a person that is going to be inside my fence line, that's it. You're out.
Yeah.
And that, it's not a grudge. That is I've made an assessment, and that assessment of that target is that you're on the outside of the line. You're on the other side of the wire, and that's where you're going to be.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but that's just how. Like, I trust my gut with shit like that. Like, if I make an encounter a person, and this is like, you don't pass that initial check, then you're outside the wire, dude.
Yep.
And that's where you're going to stay. You know, it's not a grudge necessarily. It's just like, okay, this is the assessment. It's very, I hate to make it sound like so binary, but it's very like here it is.
Yeah.
Here's your chance. Here's your chance to fucking pass muster. And if you come up and you've got your body, and I'm reading, dude. I exhaust myself in how much I'm reading into people's body language and watching all the other things because I'm looking for a fucking threat. I'm this constant aspect of looking for threats.
Yeah,
and that's part of hypervigilance. And when you do that, you really get a good read on how people are. You had people, if people are nervous in certain situations, or how outgoing they are, and how real that individual is. And I'm very rarely wrong. You can ask Kathy. I mean, I'm very rarely wrong. So, anyway.
All right. Well, yeah. So to cap all of this discussion off,
Right.
if you are trying to get a hold of me on social media and I take a very long time to respond, it's because of this. It's because I'm not looking that much anymore.
Message Lunar Girl, and Lunar Girl.
Yeah, she knows how to get in touch with us. So, but that's it. That's my week, essentially.
Oh man, yeah. Helmet Fire brings up this dude, this pilot. He fucking he got into my airspace, like at my desk, when I was still in contractor doing standout stuff, and he was basically. I told him, it's like, no, this is what the fucking reg says, and he's like this, like, oh well, no,
Pilot who knows it all.
yeah, and he didn't at all, and he fucking got into my like desk area and got like into my space, and
Like as he's like arguing with you about something.
he wasn't raising his voice, but he was like in my airspace to the point where I was like, bro, you need to stop arguing with me because I've already told you that you're wrong.
Right.
So you being in my fucking space, pointing at my fucking computer screen, does not make you more right. Right?
Right.
So get out of my fucking airspace before I eliminate you. Because I was all geared up to get him out of my fucking airspace, like out of my space. And so the joke was, I bought yellow tape and I made a fucking VFR hold line around my desk. And I told people, it's like, you see that? Like, especially pilots, like, you see that? Like, do you cross that? Not without asking. So that was the thing.
I love it. Perfect.
I Dave's kind of a jerk, but here, let me show you where I'm right. Yeah, no. No, Dave is very rarely wrong. What's Rick saying? Dave has multiple types of anger. There's rage, righteous, dickish, tired. Yeah, it's a lot of rage. So my week, I went and saw the USS New Jersey get moved. So I don't know if it made. I'm pretty sure it made national news. At some point.
I saw it in my newsfeed.
But the battleship USS New Jersey, which is docked in Camden, it's going to dry dock. It should be fact is it should probably be moving into dry dock either today or tomorrow or the next day. But it moved off the pier. They did a 180 and they're basically used the tugs and they moved it downriver it's about like 6-7 miles to the Philadelphia Navy Yard, where it's going to go in the dry dock. I knew it was happening. Like as soon as the date is like, okay, March 21st is when they're going to do it. And it's going to be like at this time, because that's when high tide is. They needed high tide to make sure it floated high enough to get away from the pier.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fucking there, I'm in, because it's one of those things where this is a relic of a bygone era, right? And for me, it was I just wanted to get pictures of a battleship fucking coming down the Delaware, right, and bless you.
Thanks.
And it for me, it's like the battleship was built at the Philly Navy Yard. It was born there, and so was I. So it was, it was kind of like going back to the place of its birth to go into its dry dock
Okay, and what exactly do you mean by dry dock?
All right, so what happens for ships is when they need to get to the bottom of the boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll pull it into like a slip, right? So you picture like pulling into a dock,
Yeah.
right? Where there's piers on both sides.
Yeah.
Then they close off one side of it and then take all the water out.
Okay.
And then it'll be on blocks. So the boat will be sitting on blocks, and what they're going to be doing for the battleship is they're going to basically paint and all the underneath, basically everything below the waterline.
Yeah.
They're going to repaint everything, check all of the watertight hatches, replace the anodes, all the stuff that keeps it from corrosion prevention, yada, yada, yada.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's 60 days. That's how long it's going to be in dock because that's all they could afford. But yeah, so a really, really cool thing to be able to, like, it hasn't, basically moved from the piers in over 20 years.
Right.
So it's going to move this time. It moved down past where I was. So I posted up. I left the house. I got down to my spot. I knew what spot I was going to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I go to this spot all the time to take pictures of the Navy Yard anyway.
Yeah.
It's right across from the Navy Yard. It's like, half a mile. Like the Delaware's about half a mile across at that spot.
Mm.
So that's where I wanted to be, and I know I was like, I'm going to get here early because I had a feeling that people that want to take pictures, they're going to want to get them because that's where the turn, come around the Delaware, it's going to make this turn, and then you come and then get a broadside shot.
Yeah.
So I get there at like 8 o'clock, right? And there's already one other car there. And by fucking, I don't know, by 11 o'clock, the place is fucking jammed.
Really?
Like if you look behind, like I took a selfie and I have like the cars behind me. Like Vickers will tell you because he came down and he took pictures also. I had my car like I was in the spot, right? So I was like right there on the river.
Yeah.
Like so you open my door, I'm right there. Everyone else had to kind of like walk up and do whatever, but my fucking shit's right there. But I wasn't getting out of there because everything else was blocked in around me.
Sure. But at least you got your space.
I had my fucking spot, and I ended up being there for fucking from 8 to 2 o'clock.
Damn.
Yeah. So, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
It was totally worth it. I got really cool shots of it going by. And it went past the Navy Yard and it's actually tied up in Paulsboro right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken on ballast, about 500,000 gallons of water. Yeah, so that it can, when it goes into dry dock, so it'll be more balanced on the blocks.
Yeah.
So that's when it's going to move from Paulsboro and go into the slip, which I'm going to actually try and go see if it works out. I have an appointment in Philly at the same time, so we shall see. Yeah, Helmet Fire says it showed up at like noon and was blocked until 3. Yeah, the cops stopped traffic from going back to where that spot was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, and just down like about half a mile down at the Red Bank battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, if you're like in this area, honestly, of New Jersey, like that is a spot, like the national park. The town is called National Park, and the Red Bank battlefield is right across from the Philadelphia International Airport.
Mm-hmm.
It is a great spot. It is one of my spots. It is one of my meditation spots. I watch airplanes land. It's very, very cool over there. That place was mogged out. Like people were walking 3 miles to get in.
Damn.
To fucking get into there because it's a big open grass area. So there's like, when the ship went by, like apparently there was a fuck ton of people there. I had my spot. I was fucking stoked. But anyway, it was fucking great. I'm so glad that I got to, kind of witness this little bit of history. You know, and it was. I'm hoping to see it actually pull into the dry dock. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't, it's not that big a deal, and I'll be there for when it comes out. I'll make sure that I'm there for when I'll be posted up right where I need to be for when it pulls out, and it'll be in the summer, so I might actually. They have an exclusion zone around it, so you're not supposed to like be in boats and shit. But I might throw a kayak in the water and see if I can get away with it.
God,
they were stopping people from doing that, but there's a we'll see what happens.
all right.
So that's that. Rick's got Frederick Martin, Patreon supporter, talked about that Helldivers game.
Oh yeah, Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2 that everyone's been talking about.
Yeah.
I started playing it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it.
I've been considering pulling the trigger on it.
Dude, I play it. It's on Steam, right? And I'm playing with Rick. He's on the PS5, so it's cross-platform for that. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And like this, my laptop has handled it pretty well. So knock on wood. Even though I had to reboot it a couple times before we started the show today. But there's a level of realism to the game that I can appreciate.
Yeah.
Like it's better that I'm shooting bugs and bots as opposed to humans.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of given up on shooting humans. It's not good for me.
Okay, like your Call of Duties and all that.
Yeah. Like when I play Call of Duty, I just stick to zombies. But now with this, like you're in one world you're fighting bugs like Super Troopers, or not
Starship Troopers. Yeah, I heard that there was some buzz like about like Starship Troopers kind of coming back into pop culture because of this game.
Yeah, and 100% you can see why if you play it. And then the other side, the other enemy is these bots. Fuck those bots. Dude, it's like rolling in on fucking Terminator, and they are ruthless, and it's nonstop, and I've died so many fucking times. It's like I hate this, and I don't want to ever do it again. So I'm going to stick to the bugs.
Okay.
Until I get to a level where I'm like, I can exist and fight bots and not die every fucking 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But run around like. One of the things that I really appreciated is when you're shooting,
mm-hmm.
right? Call of Duty, when you're shooting and you reload, like your ammo number is going up, right? You don't actually lose ammo if you reload halfway through.
Right.
Yeah. This, when you reload, if that magazine is half empty and you just dropped it on the ground, you left that magazine on the ground with that ammunition.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
now, like, you can go back and scavenge that if you need to.
Right.
But you're depleting your ammunition by doing that. So if you're a spray and pray, and you reload midway through, and you're just wasting ammunition.
Holy shit.
Right. And it's finite. You have to get supplies to be able to reload on ammunition.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that little detail.
For sure, yeah.
The orbital orbital bombardments and stuff like that are fucking cool. Like the little stuff with the ships, and you can get in and out like in a quick play.
Okay.
Really quickly too. There's a lot about this gameplay that I'm really enjoying. So
yeah, and like we were saying before the show, I've been hearing nothing about just great things about this game because I follow a lot of gaming channels and gaming websites, and like Helldivers 2 has been all the rage lately.
Dude,
pretty much since it came out.
It lives up to the hype. I'm telling you. If you're not playing it, you probably should, and you'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because even if you spawn into a random group, because it's a 4-person group, and even if you span into them randomly, and go and play, it's still fun.
So what you're saying is we need to get a team of 4 people that we know.
Yeah.
And like. And
yeah.
Okay. All right.
But it's not for Xbox.
Right.
I'm
which
playing
is some
it on
bullshit, but
I'm playing it on Steam. So I know I'm playing it on the PC, obviously, and then it's on the PS5.
Yeah.
It'd be great if it was on Xbox, but I don't have a problem with it being on PC because then Kathy will sit in the room and she'll watch TV while I'm playing it on the computer, so it works out. Anyway, so that's that. I'm gonna get to this last bit. I'm not gonna dwell on it because we're already pretty deep into the show.
Yeah.
But I was watching something on Instagram early this morning because I didn't sleep, and it was an organist, right? Like organ playing an organ. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And she plays one of the big classic organs that, they're having concerts. And one of the things she was talking about was like, they were giving her grief because she was playing like things that were part of movies and, things that people would know.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, oh, this is like when you think organ music, you think of these things. Right?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And in the comments, she's getting a bunch of fucking shit from these, I'll quote, elitist classic music douche canoes.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, one of the things that they said that really pissed me off. Like, I tend to not look at the comments because whatever, but I wasn't sleeping, so I'm like scrolling. And sometimes Instagram has the stuff kind of opened up for you already.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at it, and they're saying things about how, like, film score isn't comparable to, like, real classical music. And I'm like, what fucking planet are you on that you don't think that music that John Williams has produced, because they use John Williams specifically as an example.
Yeah.
And at what planet do you think that if you sit there, not ever seeing a Star Wars movie, Indiana Jones, or anything else, or Jurassic Park, and you hear this music, that you listening to it from a classical standpoint with the full the London Philharmonic Orchestra, you mean to tell me that piece of music doesn't deserve to be considered with Brahms and fucking Beethoven or anything else? Like, that's because it doesn't fit in your fucking your classical, like, you can't put it in your fucking bag and put it in your douche canoe with you. Like, that doesn't fit in your fucking picture because it's from a movie. Like, just because of the fact that it's from a movie.
Right.
Like, that's the qualifier.
Like,
So-
that immediately disqualifies it from any contention.
And there was a bunch of these fucking idiots that, like, again, you talk about things that fucking get you fired up about, like, politics. And this is one of those things, like, hey, you started talking about my boy. Like, I'm obviously a John Williams fanboy, right? And so I jumped. I usually don't comment, and I actually commented.
Man. I could only imagine what you would have said.
But I kept it real. It was like, this is film is what's producing the score of our generation.
Yeah.
Like, this is how generations in front of us are going to be exposed to the orchestra.
Yeah.
Like, without film, orchestra dies.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, because you don't have people just going to classical music concerts anymore, at least not that often.
You don't have people composing for the orchestras to be able to fucking do it.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing something for, like, yeah, all right, there may be random fucking people, but if you're trying, like, if you think that your fucking little elitist window, like, oh, this just needs to be smaller and smaller and smaller, and it, like, okay, then everything is going to die with you.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's going to be like, your shit will be relegated to a fucking ringtone.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it'll be gone. Is that what you want? Or do you want the idea that, like, if I expose you to a movie score, that you get involved with the fucking orchestra and you, like, really appreciate, like, what's going on and what it contributes to the fucking overall, like, the things you're seeing and what you can imagine, and that gets you, like, oh wow, I really like seeing that. And now, like, I like hearing that. I like hearing the fucking orchestra, and maybe I want to go see that live.
Yeah.
Now these musicians that are producing this music, now they have a venue to go do that.
Yeah.
You put John Williams on a fucking marquee out in front of a building, that motherfucker sells out.
Yeah.
Don't put Star Wars, you don't put Indiana Jones, John Williams.
Yeah.
That motherfucker sells out immediately. Why is that? And because it's not like when we tried to look at going back in February, those tickets were being sold to those fucking elitist douchebags.
Yeah.
All those people, they're going to see the fucking Philadelphia Orchestra be conducted by John Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Are you not going, Mr. Elitist douchebag? Are you not going to see that because you don't consider John Williams to be good enough in your mind?
Right.
I'll tell you what. How about you just take your fucking your dumbass opinion, which you're allowed to have, but you can take it, fold it in half again, and then shove it straight up your ass.
Right.
Because it's dumb.
Yeah, because we don't live in the fucking time anymore where these great composers were like, taking jobs for like kings and nobles and funerals and things like that.
Or like performances in the park where this is just like this is your entertainment is like on a harpsichord in the fucking corner because they wrote music for this fucking thing. What just happened?
You just knocked something over.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, it's times are different. It's and to say that you don't consider this stuff classical music, obviously it's not classical because it's so new, but generations from now, they'll look back on this stuff and certain pieces will be held in high regard forever. Like certain Beethoven and Mozart. And
I make the argument that the definition of what classical music is when you're talking about a fully orchestrated piece of music, you can put the film scores almost directly into that without the timing aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because, you can call, there's some people that say like American in Paris is jazz and not fucking classical music. Like,
yeah.
And it's like, whatever. But, and I'm not.
And then will the jazz purists be like, oh, this isn't jazz, it's from a movie?
Yeah. It's just, I saw that shit and I'm like, if you really believe that, if you really are of an age where you think that like movie scores aren't worthy of that consideration, then what you're saying is that you're willing to just let it just disappear.
Yeah. Because
guess what? Generations are going to fucking be ignorant to all of it because they're not getting it any other way.
Yeah, and I don't think they're teaching much music appreciation in school anymore. So,
and if they are, it's very limited. It's a very limited audience. So, anyway, I just
Bronco Fett's dropping some rock promos in the chat. That's good.
Yeah, it just pissed me off.
Oh yeah, as it should.
And I consider myself fairly like John Williams film scores are not the only classical air quote music that I listen to. I have a pretty wide variety of things that I can.
Yeah, same. Like I like a ton of Beethoven, Mozart.
All right, I can
Tchaikovsky.
Yeah, Handel.
Yeah,
like I have a lot of these things that are on LP, or I've worked the soundboard for fucking Handel's Messiah, for God's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
Like fuck you, just fuck you, dude. Fuck you and your fucking opinion. This is why I shouldn't look at shit like that. This is why I avoid the fucking political shit.
Right, exactly. So hopefully both of us will be.
All right, have we exercised those demons? Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah, it was a nice purge, I think.
Yeah.
Of all the negativity, and now it's just positivity. Which, by the way, you know how last week I was talking about how I was like fucking severely depressed?
Yeah.
Like as soon as we were done doing the show, I felt like so much better.
Nice.
I don't know if it was because I was just talking about it and I was just using this as therapy or what, but
hey man,
like coming out of doing the show last week, I felt so much better.
Listen, man, I would be a very, very rich man if I got charged for all the therapy I give.
Maybe, but yeah. So anyway, is that it for your week?
That's it for my week.
All right, you ready to move on to the main topic?
What's the main topic again?
The Bad Batch.
It's the Bad Batch.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, episode 6, 7, and I guess 8.
Yeah. 6, 7, and 8. I downloaded episode 6 and 7 to rewatch Because I watched them when they came out, and then I downloaded them. I had them on the iPad for the flight,
Right.
so I had it downloaded, which I hadn't done in forever because I very rarely get to go TDY,
Yeah.
if at all.
It's a convenient feature that
It
a lot of
is.
these streaming services have.
Disney Plus, good on you, that I was able to do that. So, and I did. I partaked in watching, 6 and 7 that way, and then I watched 8 this weekend.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, let's just jump right into it because fuck, we've only got like an hour and 15 minutes left. So episode 6, Infiltration. So we're hot off the heels of, Crosshair rejoining the group. Omega's with them. All is well. They're obviously still on the run from the Empire, but yeah, they're kind of like back together. The gang's back together,
Right.
Except for Tech. Rest in peace.
Yep.
And we actually start off with Rex and his crew. They're escorting Senator Avi Singh. He's the fucking he's the guy. He's got the monocle from the Separatists. Looks like the Monopoly man.
Yeah, the Monopoly guy. Yep.
Yeah. And he's meeting with Senator Chuchi, who we've seen a lot, like in the Clone Wars. She's from Pantora, the blue-skinned, one of the many blue-skinned races in Star Wars for some reason. And they're kind of having this sort of anti-imperial meeting discussion. It's like they weren't really planning anything. They were just kind of like, this empire kind of sucks. You know, we like our freedom and our independence, and it seems like things are going the opposite way.
Right. To me, it was like, okay, we're trying to feel you out to see like what your commitment level is to this thing.
Yeah.
That we're doing. And we're not going to talk about it.
Right.
But there is a thing.
Yeah. And it's kind of like the early chatter that eventually becomes sort of the Rebel Alliance.
Right.
Is, just certain leaders of certain worlds or senators just kind of talking behind closed doors over a drink,
Yeah, have clones as escorts.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, I'll save it. Okay. Because clones in their, like these clones that are doing the escort duty.
Yeah.
They're not in their armor.
They are. Yeah, they were in their armor during this.
Were they?
Yeah. Yeah, because I watched it again this morning, and they definitely were. Now, I know Rex, had his fucking helmet off when this assassin comes in, and Rex has his fucking helmet off, and he's just chilling while this dude is, right over here. And there was a lot of that with these fucking assassin guys in these couple episodes. But Rex is just chilling. He's, giving the senators their time, and then all of a sudden somebody's in hey, homeboy's not checking in. And he's like, well, fuck. Puts on his helmet, and they're like, what? He's not checking in. He looks over. Oh, there's an assassin right there. Shit.
I guess my force sensitivity wasn't turned up.
Right. Yeah, and that's when he
what's your M count?
Yeah, that's when he gears up and the assassin tries to kill Senator Chuchi, and they stop.
They did have their armor on. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
No, because what I was thinking was they're not for the clones being all rounded up. Walking around in your clone armor doesn't seem like it's a good idea.
No, you kind of stick out.
Yeah. Like what the Bad Batch does all the time. We're going to walk around and are fucking there's Wrecker. He looks like a giant fucking guy with a bowling ball on his fucking head.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't change costumes at all.
No.
But, now I will say that we saw in these episodes that this extraction team that comes in to try to grab Omega or tries to free the assassin and everything,
right?
They're a mixture of stormtroopers, clone troopers, and commandos,
right?
So there are still clones as part of the Empire doing Empire stuff,
right? Empire stuff, lots of Empire stuff.
So maybe their theory is they'll just think we're actual clones in the Empire,
maybe. But the Bad Batch ones are.
Oh yeah,
those
they're just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Get a new outfit.
John Rambo walking around.
Right. It's oh, I have no idea who you are.
Yeah. Who is that? John Rambo.
Yeah.
I don't remember him since Vietnam.
So And this is one of those assassin clones that we saw earlier who did the whole like tooth fucking suicide zapper that
Right.
and they capture him, they stun him, and they before he wakes up, they extract the suicide chip out of his
Right.
tooth. So they could
Which is a good move.
yeah. So they could actually
like
like
that.
they could interrogate him, but you know, it ends up all being all for naught. When they arrive at this planet, I don't think they even said what planet it was, where Rex's, you know, kind of hideout is, where him and these other clones are hanging out. Like I had this vision, like, oh, this would be a great idea for a spinoff series, you know, like Rex and his fucking crew, you know, doing jobs for, you know, senators undercover or trying to get more clones to join their cause. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen after what happened in these episodes. But
Right.
anyway, no, that was something that I was thinking about, and I actually wrote a note about it.
They all die.
Yeah. And then we go back to Tantus, where what's his name? Scorch is talking to another assassin and is like, all right, well, they fucking captured our last guy, so you go get him with your secret tracking that you have.
Right.
Because apparently they can track these guys.
Yeah, go turn on your Jason Bourne guy.
Yeah.
And that's what it reminded me of. It was like the Jason Bourne network getting turned on.
Yeah, because he even mentions, like, why was I activated?
Right.
He's like, oh, well, you got to go fucking get this guy out of here. So, but yeah, no, I could see that. Definitely a very Bourne identity. And then while they're talking to this fucking this assassin clone, he's not cooperating, and fucking Hauser, who's one of the clones that's there with Rex, he wants to like start waterboarding the guy. He's like,
Yes!
we got to put on the pressure on this fucking guy.
Yes. How do you not?
Yeah.
It's so effective.
Yeah.
Like, we know. It's just we're just. There's no rules. Like, what are they doing? There's no Geneva Conventions.
Right.
What are they like? Oh well, we can't hurt this guy. No, fuck that.
Yeah, he just this guy who just tried to kill you.
Yeah.
5 minutes ago.
Waterboard his ass.
Yeah.
Fucking. You've already start pulling his teeth out. Pull the rest of his teeth out.
Yeah.
Like, just oh god, yeah. Why would you need information?
Yeah. But no, of course Rex won't do that. He cherishes all clones.
He just doesn't want to win. That's the problem.
Yeah, you know, you gotta have strength when you want to win.
At all costs.
Exactly. You know, any means necessary.
Right.
So they go through
This
this.
is a lie.
Yeah, they go through this guy's tracking puck, or his fucking bounty puck, and they find that in addition to the Senator Chuchi or Singh, he was also got Omega on his tracker.
Right.
So, which we already knew because, you know, what's his name, fucking Hemlock, you know, put out the all hands,
Right.
and so Rex is like, well, fuck, now we got to call the Bad Batch because, you know, this is their girl, and
Yeah.
they probably want to know.
Yeah. Well, or they're going to. They're the hot commodity, and they're probably being chased. And as soon as they show up with us, they're going to bring the heat with them. So we need to keep them at arm's length.
Yeah.
So they don't give us up.
Which is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's interesting, too, because these assassins, how it targeted the Senator Singh, I'm sure it's probably because Palpatine is using them to, like, assassinate any political rivals he may have.
Sure.
Because they even said, when those two senators were talking, like, yeah, you know, Palpatine's, he's gotta be careful because he could lose, you know, support in the Senate and with all the systems and everything. So, because again, we're a year into the Empire at this point. So
I don't think at any point Palpatine was worried at all about anyone else. Like,
yeah,
politically. I just don't like.
just that arrogance, just like no one will ever turn against me.
I am the Senate. Like it. Yeah, I don't think he was concerned at all. Like even when he fucking eliminated the Senate, I think it was just an inevitable.
Yeah,
It is inevitable.
they need to do maybe an animated or even a live action scene of him just rolling into the Senate and is like, "You're all fired. Goodbye."
No, rolling in there and like Anakin, you know when Anakin rolls into the room when he fucking kills all the separatists?
Oh, and just eliminates
And
all
just
of the fucking
like,
senators.
rolls into the fucking big like auditorium, like with all the shit, like, and it starts throwing the fucking things around like he did when he was fighting Yoda. It's like, I am the Senate, and he's fucking spinning ET around, fucking throwing him and shit. Oh man, I'd watch that for hours.
That would be amazing.
Somebody get on that.
Oh my god. Just him just wrecking the fucking Senate.
I would love to see just a picture of like ET, like kind of just like being thrown.
That brings a whole new meaning to when Tarkin rolls in. I've received word that the Emperor has dissolved the council permanently.
Right. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, they're in a puddle in the bottom of the fucking floor here.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just something that came to my mind. Him using them to assassinate politicians for his own, whatever. So we get the Batch, and they're cruising along in their ship. And you see Omega, because she's been with Crosshair for quite a while now. Now she's kind of like starting to mimic him. She's got like the fucking toothpick.
Right.
She's biting on it, grinding, with kind of like a confrontive seating posture and everything. So she does that. She does that with all the members of the Batch at one point or another. She'll kind of like take on a lot of their traits. Like with Wrecker, the fucking foodie, and the jokester side of him.
Right.
Like Tech, she was really smart and really fed off of a lot of his intelligence when he was like putting her through school and everything. So yeah, she's got this unique attachment to every member of the Bad Batch. And you can tell she does with Crosshair now because they've spent so much time together recently. But it was funny. He's sitting there chewing on his toothpick, and he looks over, and there she is doing the exact same thing in the exact same pose. It was pretty funny. And then they get the call from fucking Rex, and they get there, and obviously they're not happy to see fucking Crosshair,
Right.
Especially Hauser, because he was there on Ryloth when the big battle and all of that stuff. It's coming, Kelly. Don't you worry. That's next episode though. And
My penis so smooth.
and initially Hauser wanted to like interrogate fucking Crosshair too.
Right.
He's like, we need to fucking strap him to a board and start pouring water on his face.
Which they probably should have.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. Like, he obviously knows shit that he's not telling.
Yeah, but of course Rex, takes the diplomatic route.
Rex is a pussy.
Yeah. And
Your powers are weak, old man.
yeah, Echo gives Omega a new crossbow. What happened to her old bow and arrow? I guess she probably just lost it when she got captured, right?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't let her have it in fucking camp
Over on Tantus, yeah.
in a Wind or whatever.
Yeah. So she's got a new crossbow. I'm sure that's going to become relevant at some point.
Where did that come from?
What?
And Camp in a Windowind's a real place in
Oh.
New Jersey.
Oh.
I don't know why that substituted itself, but all right.
Yeah. At this point, too, Crosshair is like telling them, hey, we need to get the fuck out of here. If you've got alive one of these assassins, they know how to track without, being detected. So we need to get the fuck out of Dodge while we're still alive.
Uh-huh.
And everybody else is like, yeah.
Yeah, we took care of that.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yep. And then the next assassin arrives. His ship. Did you get a good look at his ship?
I didn't get a good enough look at it.
Oh, it was so fucking tight. It looked like almost like a mini Star Destroyer. It had that very angular, like triangular look to it, but it was, a little bit bigger than fighter size. And it was just, it looked really cool. I want a toy of that. And we get a couple of shots of it, but he flies a really sweet looking ship. And I made note of that. But yeah, he arrives at Rex's hangout, so the jig is up at this point.
And gone.
Yeah, and they start talking to conversations between Omega and Crosshair and Rex, and Omega mentions the M count thing. She's like, they were looking for something called an M count, and that's kind of like what's driving them from here on out. Now they're like, we got to find out what this M count means. But it doesn't really matter because fucking assassin shows up and nobody sees this motherfucker running around. Like they're eating like Wrecker and Omega, like chowing down.
He's a ninja.
And yeah,
Obviously.
yeah. Then these guys are over here talking, and you just see him in the background, like a crackhead.
Crackhead.
And nobody fucking sees this guy. Yeah. And then he spots Omega, and he's like, "Ooh, we got the prime target here."
Hey, like in the Incredibles, verify when it changed target.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was just there to finish off the other assassin.
Right.
But then he saw Omega, and he was like, "Oh, change of plans." Went out, contacted the fucking Scorch over on Tantus,
Why
and
not just send a Star Destroyer and just eliminate the fucking planet? Like,
well,
just
because they need her
orbital
alive.
No,
That's
true.
that.
That's
You know,
true.
they
Yeah,
mentioned
that's-
multiple times they need her alive. They need her alive.
Right.
So
Yes. For Omega.
yeah,
But he didn't know they. But I'm talking about for the other assassin.
right.
Like you're trying to eliminate the evidence. You do it like you would if you're a SEAL team. You're just be like, all right, we're just gonna leave some fucking explosives. Just burp, we're just gonna blow up this area, or have the AC-130 take it out.
I mean, maybe they don't have the resources. The Empire is stretched pretty thin right now. They're only a year old, and they've got a lot of shit going on.
They ain't stretched that thin.
You don't know. You don't know what's going on logistically in the Empire.
I am the Empire. Look at see, look at how loyal I am.
They can't see that on the camera.
I know, but you can.
Right.
Now suck my dick.
Yeah. So yeah,
My penis so smooth.
he calls in the cavalry, and then he starts cleaning house. Like after I keep wanting to call him Tech. After Crosshair says for like the 5th time, we got to get the fuck out of here. Then all of a sudden, power goes out. They open the door and fucking gunshots start coming in.
Right.
And he kills the other assassin. Like he shoots him right through the fucking heart. And then
Excuse me.
the last shot is we get, hold on. Visual aid. Sorry.
Hey, what's the point of having these toys if we can't fucking use them?
Fucking right. So yeah, they show that this squad is being led by Clone Commander Wolf, who is this guy. And the only reason I recognized him as Wolf is because of the Black Series figure, which I'm pretty sure his helmet comes off. Yep.
Oh yeah, there he is. He's got the
And-
fucking scar on his face and everything.
Yeah, they got the bad eye and all that. You can't really see him on video, but yeah. So as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh, that's Clone Commander Wolf, because again, I got the Black Series figure. And I know he was like friends with Rex, and I'm sure people who've seen like all of the Clone Wars, probably had a stronger reaction.
Right.
Whereas me, I'm like, oh yeah, it's that guy. So,
Yeah. Hey, look.
But the way the episode ended, it was very dramatic, as it like the camera panned around and then you saw it was Wolf. Oh my God. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, and it's important because he's like, all right, he tells the rest of he makes a decision because it's other clones,
Yeah.
right? He's like, all right, we're not going to pursue this.
Yeah.
You know, he should have because there's other clones.
Mhm.
So we're going to go ahead and leave. So,
Yeah.
which made no sense really,
Yeah.
but
Well, we'll get there.
yeah.
So yeah, then that's when we start the next episode 7, which is called Extraction. The last episode was called Infiltration, and now it's Extraction. And of course, we're back at Rex's hideout, which is now burning to the ground.
Yes.
And the extraction teams arrive. And again, I made note of the fact that this team is composed of both clones and stormtroopers, and clone commandos for that matter. Which is interesting because, as they're talking to each other, you can hear all the clones talking. And then there was one scene where they got to blow up that fucking hole that they escaped through. And they left a stormtrooper there to do it. And he's like a normal voice guy. He's not a clone.
Right.
So it was just really interesting seeing that dynamic. And
Probably couldn't hit the side of a barn.
probably not. But yeah, no, I thought this was really, really interesting because it shows that transition period where you've got kind of a mix of both before it eventually becomes all Stormtrooper. which I love that shit. That's why I love the Bad Batch, is because we're getting these stories about the fucking clones and what the hell happened to them.
This is why I like it now.
Yeah, at least for
I
these
like
two.
it. I like it more now
Yeah,
than I did before.
right. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. And all the while, they're pursuing Rex and his team. Fucking Wolf and the assassin are kind of like at odds. He keeps telling him over and over again, "We need her alive. We need her alive. Why'd you fucking shoot down their escape pod? Why'd you do this? Because we need her alive, and you're putting her life in jeopardy." But overall, this episode had some great action sequences as they're chasing them through this fucking spire and they're trying to escape there. And then they get on the fucking, the escape pod that gets shot down. Then they fucking land again with the extraction team. And there's a bunch of back and forth. The cool thing about this was you notice that they're still using the stun fire. But Crosshair was still using straight up regular shots because when he shot the guy who was piloting the ship, like shot him like right through the fucking chest.
Right.
Just boom, and he's done. So while the rest of the batch are still trying to, preserve life and everything, Crosshair don't give a fuck.
Nope. It's like, no, kill shot.
Yeah.
And plus, because he's still figuring out where his shots are going to go.
Right, yeah, because all through these, he's still like favoring his hand, and clearly there's something wrong there that they're building to. But as of right now, yeah, he's still having his hand.
God.
Now, it was kind of funny that the assassin shot down the escape pod, like just with a normal blaster fire into its exhaust. I'm like,
Gotcha.
apparently they really need to rethink how they design exhausts in this universe because it seems like exhaust ports is what's always the problem.
I don't want to even start to get into why. There's a good reason for that.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's just not. Let's not open that box.
Okay, fair enough. There's a point where Hauser starts to trust Crosshair because he's really good with Omega. And he does. He's like, he shows concern for her after they crash.
Right.
And, it was his way of asking if she was all right. And he's like, can you carry all of that weight? Can you, do you have your crossbow? Which was essentially his way of like checking in on her. So you remember, I think it was like 2 episodes ago where I told you that a coworker was trying to convince me that they were getting rid of the Wilhelm scream from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, we got one here in this episode.
We did.
Yeah, it was when they shot down that transport, and then a couple of the clones like fall out, and you hear you hear the Wilhelm scream.
My penis is so smooth.
So
that's not the right button. It's not the right button at all.
yeah.
My penis is so smooth.
So I guess that rumor.
Do it live!
My God.
Sorry. It's just I needed to wake up.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're working on low sleep here. So yeah, we did get a Wilhelm scream. So Crosshair is taking on this assassin himself, right? There's been a couple of times where he's like broken off, said, "Hey, I got this. You guys fucking get ahead to the rendezvous point or whatever." And, they've had some pretty good back and forth with Crosshair and this fucking assassin. And then they're fighting on this like multi-level waterfall, right? Where it comes down to like a flattening and then there's another waterfall. And they're fighting like hand to hand at this point. They're just like fucking punching each other.
Right.
And the fucking assassin grabs him and just like holds him under the water for
Right.
like a long time. And I'm like, holy shit, he's going to kill Crosshair like this.
Yes.
Crosshair's
gonna go. Yes.
Yeah.
The board bed is getting closer to being mine.
Yeah, no, like I legit thought he was dead because he's like sitting there struggling and then he's just like,
Yeah.
and he like closes his eyes and you think he's fucking dead. And it was still several seconds of it, like showed the dude, like the assassin's face as he's still holding him down for several seconds until, boom, he fucking gets shot by a stun gun.
Right.
Again, non-lethal, just fucking kill the guy.
Right.
But, and then Crosshair, like, came to, but like, I legit thought like he just
that was
fucking
gonna be
drowned
it.
this guy in this fucking water.
We just watched an animated drowning of a
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
clone.
And I'm sitting there thinking like, God damn, that was brutal.
That was awesome. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, do it. get all this fucking bullshit with the hand and everything else. Who cares?
Right.
He's dead.
Yeah, he just drowned him in a foot of water.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no,
Again, as we talked about it before, like the maturity level of each one of the episodes. Oh, except for this next one, which
yeah,
kind of takes a little hesitation.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, it gets more and more fucking intense.
Yeah,
Faster, more intense.
yeah,
Until fucking episode 8.
yeah. But no, I like legit thought Crosshair was dead at that point.
Totes.
Yeah, and then but they get him. They're like, all right, fucking, we need to meet Echo at this one fucking spot. They roll there, and then that's when Wolf gets there and lands, and he sees Rex. He's like, oh, I thought you were dead. And they kind of have a back and forth, essentially to where what you were talking about before, Rex talks him into just letting them go.
Right.
You know, and again, it wasn't just Wolf there. It was Wolf, a couple of commandos, and a bunch of other clones.
Right.
All guns ready.
Yeah, and that's what kind of threw me off. So, like, okay, you had commandos, you had, like, a mixed bag. Like,
Yeah.
were they all... Like, Wolf made a decision that you would think, is this going to be kosher with all of these guys? Like,
Yeah.
and none of these guys are going to go back and tell some other lieutenant or some other sergeant, like, hey, we're pretty sure that Rex was fucking written off, and he showed up, and we think he might be with the other side.
Yeah.
But Wolf just kind of let him go.
Yeah. And you know that girl that you've been looking for? She was with them, and he just let them leave.
Just let them leave.
Like, one of those clones is going to fucking betray
yeah,
Wolf.
right?
Now, one thing that I went back and verified, because I was pretty sure that Wolf was one of the 3 clones that were there with Rex when we find him in Rebels. Remember when we finally find Rex and those other couple of old clones?
You're asking me if I remember. I don't remember.
Well, that was kind of an important part of Rebels, I thought.
I don't remember when I got here.
Okay, well, to recap, the Rebels crew comes across Rex and a couple of other clones. Now that they're old and a little chubby, they got the big gray beards, the beer belly.
Right.
And Wolf was one of the clones that was there with Rex. So at some point, yeah, we know we're going to get to that reconciliation. So the scene made sense, but yeah, there's, 20 other guys behind him that might have a thought of their own.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
like, how do you fucking... Yeah. How do you keep all those people quiet?
yeah. And then on the ship as they're leaving, the big driver now is, we got to find out what the fuck they're talking about with this M count and why they want Omega,
Right.
so we can kind of figure out what the fuck to do. Essentially, at least that's what Rex told them that they need to be concerned about.
And it's like, okay, like, we can't GTSB. I mean, can't get on the HoloNet and fucking
Like, Google it.
yeah, like so M, and then what does Google start prompting you with? M, matriarch, monogamy, mahogany,
And midichlorians.
metachlorians. Huh. Maybe. Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, and at least in Legends, I know that Palpatine really tried to erase all, history of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And pretty much anything Jedi tried to erase it, destroy it, whatever. And I think that was pretty much true in current canon as well.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe he called up the owner of Space Google and said, "Hey, fucking kill this word out of any search engines."
Yeah, no M counts, no none of this. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And we do have canonical referencing for everything being destroyed, because you have old girl and
Battlefront 2, her planet? Or are you talking something else?
no, the fucking the fucking thing with BD1
Jedi? Survivor? I don't know what you're talking about.
Fallen Order.
Right.
Jedi Fallen Order, which the new game is called
Survivor?
Jedi Survivor.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and she's like collecting up all the fucking library items.
Oh,
to create the new
yeah.
library.
Bug-Eye.
Bug-eyed
Yeah.
broad.
Yeah.
who's rendered better in the new game, but yes.
True. Yeah, they made her look a little less alien and a little more human.
Yes, but yes, they're collecting the library because everything was destroyed.
Yeah, the sacred Jedi text.
The sacred Jedi.
It took me a while to get to that. I haven't. Man, it's my brain.
Yeah.
So big.
So all right, let's knock out episode 8 real quick.
They're going to build a desk out of Omega.
Now I will say that those previous 2 episodes, episode 6 and 7, I thought they were great. I think it was a good mix of progressing the plot, some fun action, great visuals.
Yep.
Loved it.
Yep.
And those were the 2 episodes they released on the same day too, by the way. Not that I watched them that day.
I didn't watch them.
I know a lot of people did. So yeah, it makes sense that they released those 2 back to back. And then we roll into episode 8, Bad Territory. And how do you know it's going to be a side quest episode?
Wanda Sykes.
When Wanda Sykes shows up in the first minute of the episode, because we're back on Pabu, that island place that they.
Yeah, 'cause you couldn't do anything without me anyway. That's because I had to be in this thing at least once. I'm contractually obligated to be in this at least once and have this many lines.
Yep.
All right, I'm leaving.
Yeah. So they're asking her, they're trying to get information on this whole M count thing. And they find out that, there's been multiple bounty hunters looking for people with M counts, whatever that means.
Right.
Which, of course, us as the audience, we know exactly what the fuck they're talking about. We're just like, Force users.
We're all the Leo meme. Like, God,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, figure it the fuck out.
Right. You clones, you worked side by side with these Jedi, right?
Yeah.
For years.
Never heard the word metachlorian?
Yeah. And all your travels together.
Yoda's metachlorian count? That doesn't... No, nothing? Nothing?
Maybe this Anakin kid that you've been fighting alongside, you
Right.
heard rumors about his high metachlorian count.
The being the one and all that shit.
Nothing.
Okay, fair enough. I'll be over here. Fucking.
Sorry, sir.
I am the metachlorians.
Well, that was my attempt at doing a clone.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, so enter Fennec Shand. Ming-Na Wen is back to voice Fennec.
Yes.
Because they need to find a bounty hunter who might know something, right? And of course, they get to this the really cool-looking space station that they fly into, and then they go right into a cantina again, where fucking people are fighting and typical Star Wars cantina, which is great. And then they roll up to Fennec, and so ultimately she's like, "Oh yeah, I got information for you, but you have to do something for me." And that's when I'm like,
I thought we were past this.
Yep.
No.
You okay? But yeah, so we're going on a side quest, and it's just Hunter and fucking Wrecker going on the side quest, while Omega and Crosshair stays back, and she's been encouraged to have him seek medical attention for his hand.
Well, I think the way I took it initially was Hunter's like, all right, she's gonna be all pissy about us leaving her behind. So she doesn't just do something stupid and get in the ship and like chase after her or something and be like, all right,
give her a job.
Yeah, here's a task. Help a homeboy with his hand.
Yeah.
So that's what keeps her occupied on planet.
Yep. And that's pretty much what this episode is. Half of it is, well, a majority of it is Wrecker and Hunter doing whatever Ming-Na Wen says as she's like looking for this fucking just random bounty.
Right. What somebody posted it, Bad Bayou.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking.
It was Chris Forsyth, maybe.
Yeah, when they fired up that boat, like, yeah, that's what I'm like imagining. They're driving through like Louisiana and the swamps and everything down there.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Have you ever done that?
No,
ever done one of those?
No.
I've done like Lake Okeechobee. I've done that where you like fire up the big fucking big old fan in the back, and you're like going in the gator infested waters and shit.
Oh yeah, and there were gators in this too.
Oh yeah, yeah, big gators with lasers on their heads. I was making Austin Powers reference.
Right.
Just off the cuff there. Anyway.
It's okay.
Anyway.
So yeah, you went in a boat.
Yeah, it was one of those fucking airboats, and it was interesting.
Yeah.
But it was one of those where it's like, this is dangerous. It's super top heavy. Like you're sitting and it's like it feels like you're on a regular old John boat, right? Which is not very wide.
Yeah.
And it's got this giant fucking fan on the back. Some fucking drunk hillbillies sitting in the middle of it, and you're like sitting there going like, okay.
And you're like, going along, and then boom, that's a gator.
And he's like, let's see how fast we can go. Woo! Like, ah! Fucking, yeah,
I think my neighbors heard you. So yeah, they're basically on planet fucking Bayou, which is whatever, they like to do that in Star Wars. But yeah, complete with alligators and underwater landmines.
To the jungle.
And while they're doing that, Omega is helping Crosshair, like the easy droids, like trying to, do some medical scans and shit. And he's basically telling him like, no, this is
There's
in
nothing
your
wrong
head.
with it. It's in your head, fucker.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And
That gave me some fucking that gave me some doctor PTSD.
yeah,
Like, oh, this is just in my head. Okay, I'm going to fucking put a knife through your fucking kidney.
yeah, and
You
then and
sack
just tell
of
you,
shit.
then tell you it's all in your head.
Yeah, they're like, oh, does that hurt? Sorry, that must be in your head.
Yeah. But then when, Easy asks him like, so what kind of experiments were done on you? That's when he's like, I'm fucking out of here.
Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So clearly, he probably got a couple of anal probes and,
Right.
some traumatic shit happened that he doesn't really want to relive. And yeah, for my notes, I have just like blah, 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 bounty, blah, 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 blah. Because really, it's some real typical, they got to capture this guy. He gets away, but they eventually capture him right before he's about to kill somebody. And yeah, that was it. So they got the bounty, which
They got the praying mantis.
yeah. And then of course, Fennec has nothing for them when they're done. She's like,
No.
well, I might know somebody who might know something about
Right.
something.
And I'm totally not going to turn you in,
Yeah,
except for when I get my ship,
right.
because I'm going to turn you in.
Yeah. Well, we don't know if she turned
Oh,
them in.
come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Everybody knew as soon as she got in that goddamn ship that she was going to turn them in.
Well, I don't think that's who she was talking to. I think she was probably talking. It was probably fucking Ventress, because we still haven't seen her yet, so we know she's coming. But
My penis is smooth.
it gets me every time.
What?
So yeah, Fennec calls up somebody and she's like, "Hey, just finished this job with these clones. They're asking about M counts.
Right.
You should be able to find them,
Right.
because they don't change their outfits."
No.
Yeah.
So she's turning him in. Like, she's obviously turning him in. Fennec Sand's a real fucking twat. I mean, she just is.
Yeah, if you say so.
Fuck that bitch. I don't like her. I don't like her. You don't like her.
All right.
I don't like you either.
You just watch yourself. One of the
Forsyth says 100% is Ventress. They even played her music. Good catch. I did not pick up on that.
Again, we didn't watch all of Clone Wars, so I don't know what her theme music sounds like. I'm sure it's lovely, but
I hope it's Ventress.
yeah. Well, I mean, we know we're going to see her eventually.
Right.
But there was one cool scene where Omega was, with Crosshair, and
Sorry.
she said, okay, well, let's try healing my way. It's a different way.
Right.
And she takes him out and they go meditating. Right. And of course, now that we know she's got some force sensitivity to her, and she's sitting there in like a Jedi meditative pose.
Right.
I'm just like fully expecting her to just have like some sudden force vision or something, and then just be like, "What the fuck was that?" Sadly, it didn't happen.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I was more concerned that she was going to, like, when she touched his hand, that there was going to be some fucking kind of force healing. And I was going to be like, no!
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
We don't need that.
Yeah.
We don't need that shit.
Yeah, no, that's you're jumping too many steps
Yeah, there's
ahead.
We're jumping the shark, the fucking blue whale, the goddamn ocean, the whole fucking no.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So at the end of the day, this was one of those episodes that you can 100% skip and you wouldn't miss anything in the overall story. That's the shitty part.
Yeah, agreed.
Because and I mean, we knew it was probably going to happen. It's happened in every season before this. Happened in Clone Wars. Happened in Rebels. Hell, it happens in Mandalorian sometimes, where it's a side quest episode that has nothing to do with the main plot.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I guess my tolerance for these is lessening as I'm getting older and crankier.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, okay, we know this is the last season.
Yeah.
Right? So this is coming to an end. It's not time for filler episodes.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Why do you want to put filler in here when this is our last, dance with these characters?
And obviously, to the people that write this, it's not filler. It's only,
I guess.
it's filler to us, like from our vantage point. But come on, like, let's get. We need to get to this next step.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could have had Omega and Crosshair meditating and they could have been doing something like mid-episode, and we could have gotten into something else. I mean, like going on this whole other side quest with fucking Fennec Shand.
Yeah, which had zero to do with anything.
Right. So maybe they had her contractually obligated too, and Wanda
Right.
Sykes are like, okay, we got both of these fucking broads tied up in contracts. Let's just knock them out in one episode. And they did.
Yeah.
They took care of it.
Well, we know we're going to see Wanda Sykes at least one more time because there was in the trailer for this season, there was an episode where she's helping them like with some cargo or some shit. So.
The cutting room floor. It's like
You think?
on the floor. Like, there it is on the floor. Like, see that? Don't step in that.
Right.
'Cause it's shit.
But I mean, for filler episodes, it wasn't terrible. But again, it's old cranky me coming out. It's like, I have my time is precious these days. I really don't want to spend it watching, filler episodes of these animated shows. Come on, just give me the meat.
Right. We are selfish to our core, and we want what we want.
Exactly. And I'm not going to apologize for that.
And in fairness to us, you're giving us 7 episodes of like intensity, faster, more intense, and everything else, and then like now you're like you put in a neutral.
Yeah.
Why? Like, is there going to be some payoff in the next couple of weeks? I mean, how many more episodes we got? Like, this was the midway point, right?
Yeah. I think we might be past the midway point at this point. Bad Batch release schedule.
Bad Batch episode release. No hope in truncated silence.
All right. So, okay, yeah, we just crossed the halfway point because there's 15 episodes. And we just passed number 8. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 episodes
8,
left.
9, 10, 11,
12. I can envision that pinball machine, doing like the first person view of the pinball machine and everything.
With that purple on television.
Yeah.
Which was so crazy because like on a colored TV in those days, like that purple just seemed like crazy, that color. I remember it standing out. I don't know if it was our television or whatever, but I remember that purple being like, geez, purple.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's all culminating to the finale on May 1st. Fuck, that first episode that we're going to have of the show after May the 4th is going to be chock full of shit. We're going to have, the Phantom Menace re-release. We're going to have the fucking May the 4th at the Fan Expo. We're going to have the Bad Batch finale to talk about. The anniversary of the show.
We should start early.
Like earlier in the week?
No,
or earlier in the day?
We should start earlier in the day.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
We'll both be off. Or you'll be off, right?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, cranky old man again is coming up. So my laptop updated to Windows 11 against my will. So in Windows 10, I was always used to, you see, where the date and time is in the bottom right? And you click on that, and in Windows 10 and previous, it would immediately bring up the calendar, like the full month calendar. It doesn't do that anymore.
What's it do?
Now it's got notifications, You can do some weird 30-minute focus timer. Okay, and then if you click this expansion arrow, then it brings up the calendar. But will it keep bringing up the calendar? Okay, fine. It looks like it stays. All right, I fixed it.
You okay over there?
I'm fine. All right, that's
Everything's fine.
that's pretty much it with the Bad Batch.
How are you?
Yeah, I mean, any last thoughts on these 3 episodes?
No, I agree with you about the filler episode. It was kind of like, and I'm ready to. We're on the downhill.
Yeah,
We're on the downhill. People have to start dying.
it's probably gonna happen.
And what I was thinking, honestly, during this whole stretch, I was thinking about how Omega needs to live. Nala Se is still alive.
Yep.
Like they're going to have to die. So you're going to have to basically. You're going to have to. I don't think Nala Se lives to the end of the series.
You think they're really gonna eradicate all of the fucking?
Well, I think that Palpatine's going to get what he needs,
Yeah.
and there's going to be
From
no,
Nala Se, he gets what he needs from her.
right, that long ass neck.
Wow, they probably do give some good head, don't they?
From across the room. No need to kneel either. It's just like, all right, I'm just gonna giraffe fucking get down there. That's just like what? No fucking gag reflex. Just giant eyes.
Oh God. We got to Rule 34 that.
Oh God.
Hold on, Rule 34 Nala Se. Hang on. How much you want to bet there's a hit?
Oh, there's got to be.
Okay.
100% there's got to be.
All right, Rule 34 Nala Se.
Oh my God.
Okay, she's got a couple of pages.
Oh God.
Okay, that looks poorly done. Oh my God. Well, we've got a lot of ass shots. Let's see if this one has any better. No. Oh, that's Nala from
Lion King?
Lion King.
Oh my God.
And oh my God, is there a lot?
Oh Jesus.
Oh, you know what? I know I was dogging the internet quite a bit, but there are some gems in the rough. There really are. Sometimes the internet just, surprises you in a good way.
Oh God.
But yeah, there was only really like 2 Nala Se pictures on Rule 34. So clearly the internet needs to get their shit together.
Obviously she's not as much of a fetish as we would believe her to be.
Right.
Oh wait, Luna Girl posted something on the Discord channel.
Oh shit, hold on. Let me see if I can pull that up. And while I'm looking this up, next week we are finally
Nice.
getting to Master and Commander.
Yahoo!
AKA Master and Apprentice. Yeah, we're covering the novel next week. I did the audiobook. Dave, I'm assuming you read the paper book as usual.
Let's just assume that that's correct.
All right. So we'll be talking about those, and hopefully Don, our winner of the audiobook, will be able to join us for that one as well.
Yes, that would be cool.
And what do we have the week after that? Hold on, let me pull up our schedule.
Fuck out of me. You're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, I know. I write it down and then I lose it. So okay, then it's more Bad Batch after that on April 8th. We got 3 more episodes we'll be talking about then.
Oh, makes sense.
As we're going into the grand finale.
Oh, well, I won't be here April 8th. It won't be a show.
Oh, fuck. That's
the eclipse.
All right, so we're going to have to decide if we're just going to take that week off or do it on a different day.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Yeah, because we won't be back in town for a few days.
Yeah.
So, and we're leaving on like Saturday.
I wonder if I can get a hotel room in Rochester on Sunday night. Because Rochester is probably one of the closer places to here that's going to have pretty much full view.
Good luck, because hotels are really, really hard to get.
Yeah.
With a.
Now, of course, you said that there might be some weather that day too, right?
Oh, I don't know. I said I'm hoping that there is no weather.
Right.
I haven't seen any really good long range forecasts yet. The modeling is so sketchy that far out. It's really going to be tough.
Yeah. All right. Let me see if the Hampton Inn. What is it? April 8th is when the eclipse is.
Yeah.
All right. I'm checking Hampton Inn in Rochester. Availability. Check room rates. Ooh. No rooms available.
Mm.
Damn.
Yeah, for lack of a, it's kind of nice. It's nice that people are into it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, hey, this is a thing. You should be into it.
Yeah, the thing that really interested me, because at first I just thought, okay, it gets darker for a couple of seconds, and then light again, until I saw a YouTube video of the last time this happened somewhere in the center of the country several years ago. And literally when it happens, you can see the stars. It completely blacks out the sun to where it literally is nighttime for, at least a minute or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
And I'm looking forward to one of the things I saw, I think it was on Instagram. So once you're going to have the eclipse, you're going to be able to see Jupiter, Venus, and then in between Jupiter and the sun will be comet 12P is going to be there, and it should be visible.
That'll be visible from the eye?
Binoculars.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a thing, and people should Christ, you don't. It's just one of those things. But make sure you have the proper eye protection.
I haven't worn condoms in a long time, dude.
Eye protection.
Gotcha.
Eye protection.
Never mind.
Eye protection. The others, that's why we were in the Seedless Grapes Club, right?
My penis is so smooth.
Oh, right.
Seedless grapes.
It took me a second.
Yeah. The devil, is that what it is? Is that the devil comet?
Sure.
That's what's it saying in the chat.
Okay. Well, I've got somebody staring at me. Hi. Are you just here now? Your eyes. you look like you've had a rough go at it this week.
I'm a little tired.
I believe it. It. Your left eye is drooping. It's a little offset today, but that's fine. That's fine. We're all allowed to have an off day, right?
I'm a bit of a mess.
Yeah. But it's understandable given your host.
Yeah. Yeah, the host organism?
Yes.
Is that what's happened?
Yep.
Yeah. Don't feed into what the narrative is from the fucking escape pod guys.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean they've been pretty quiet about it lately, so.
Yeah, not quite enough. Shut up, fuckers.
So are you here to do the reads?
Yes.
Alrighty. So you gonna get to it, or do you have anything else?
My blank ass screen. Didn't I used to have a microphone?
You did, but then we moved some stuff around.
Oh yeah.
Dave got his new microphone.
Yeah. It was that long ago?
Yeah, because
Wow.
his microphone stand used to be on that side of the table.
Right.
And then we had yours over here.
Right.
But then we changed things around and we never made one for you.
Wow.
Now if he was nice, he could put one on that elbow there for you.
Yeah, no, he's not going to do that.
Oh, is that because that's where you stand?
Yeah, this is good for leaning. Why don't put a railing right here?
Right.
Because we lean too much. Well, it's not going to matter when we're all country music stars.
What?
You remember that it's from the Family Guy Star Wars.
When we're all country music stars, I don't remember that.
Yeah, when they're talking about the railing.
Oh,
they're there with the fucking the Death Star ray gun.
Yeah. They're in that big cavern that the fucking beam comes out.
Right. Because why the fuck wasn't there a railing there? How did they even get to that spot?
I mean, I'm sure the Empire probably had to cut costs. They were way over budget on the Death Star.
So what, did they zip line down to that fucking panel? Who puts a panel there?
I thought there was a little door right beside it that they could go back in. I would
don't
assume so.
remember the door.
Okay, maybe not. Well, we'll have to go back and take a look at the
Yeah,
tape.
we'll have to see.
Much like Dave needs to go back and look at that assassin ship in.
He actually spent like 15 minutes on the Googles and he found it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a very delta-shaped vehicle.
Yeah.
Very simple. It's kind of nice.
But
It make good Lego.
Yes, very much so. So.
Probably there could be a mock build out there for the Lego. People to get creative.
Do they do that? Well, like if a new ship or something comes out, somebody will like make an approximation of it and put it out there.
If the right people see it, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he could do it if he had if he wasn't fucking all wrapped up in killing bugs and things with the Helldivers.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant like killing bugs in his house or in his garage or something.
No, probably should do that too. Yeah, my eyes are crazy.
Yeah,
I got the crazy eyes.
we got a real ant issue in our house.
Oh,
It's driving me crazy.
You know why?
Why?
It's because there's a sandy soil that we have here.
Oh, is that it?
It's all the sandy soil.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's like a layer of clay, and then that layer of clay has the sand on top of it because this was all like it's all runoff from the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it goes all the way to the ocean.
Well, I just don't understand when I'm fucking in the shower and I see a fucking ant crawling like on the side of the shower. I'm like, where did you come from? And what did you expect to get from here?
Did you destroy him?
Of course.
Yes, because we are the dominant species.
Right. I'm just wondering what the fuck he was doing in my bathroom.
Looking at your penis.
He was probably very disappointed then.
He was a voyeur ant.
Yeah, though, I mean, I guess comparatively, he is so small,
My penis is so smooth.
My little thimble probably looked like a fucking, like a rocket
penis
ship
is
to
so
him. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, you need to work on that one. There was plenty of opportunity there, and you lost it.
Yeah.
You need to make like a Jolly Green Giant, or like what's the guy with the not Gallagher. It begins with a G. The giant guy who begins with a G. Goliath. No, that's not it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know.
Neither
do it
do I.
live.
All right, maybe we should
Do
just
it
move.
live.
I
Maybe
need to do the reads.
let's move on to the reads because we're
All
just.
right. And my blank screen here because the fucking iPad went dead because some dipshit didn't fucking charge his iPad.
Oh.
Thankfully he did the alternate route and brought it up on the laptops.
You look very emo on the screen. Like your hair is
Depeche
covering
Mode.
your eyes.
I'm gonna listen to some Depeche Mode and
Yeah.
fucking be all sultry and shit. Oh, sultry. Sultry's like, yeah, baby.
Ugh.
Yeah. You like that, don't you?
No.
I smoke 6 packs of cigarettes a day. What's that? What was that from the Kingpin?
Oh God. Oh, it wasn't that bad.
Have that mental image now.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right, so
the reads.
ATSW Family Happenings on Wednesday. Snooch, Big Lovin', and Dragon Buddy will be discussing aliens. Just aliens. I guess the first one.
Well, the first one is Alien. The sequel is Aliens.
All right, tough guy. There you go. See,
Just
there's-
trying to help.
So it's the second one because it's plural.
Right.
How original. Catch ACSW The Escape Pod live at 19:05, 7:05 Eastern on the YouTubes. That's Eastern Daylight Time. This past Saturday, Don Della Snooch and Luna Girl reviewed Stranger Things Season 4, Chapter 2, Vecna's Curse. Vagina's Curse.
oh, we could do a whole story about that. The vagina curse.
The curse of the vagina.
Oh, God, no.
Catch the replay and join them on their first watch journey at Stranger Things Has Happened on YouTube. Scott and Kim of Used and Abused were live this morning with the return of the racing show, Australian Grand Prix, and Echo Park Grand Prix race recap. I probably was up. I should have watched.
Mm.
Also on Saturday evening, Scott and Kim went live with unboxing special with a surprise gift from ATSW Family Celebration. It's a celebration. Check both replays over at Used and Abused Pod on YouTube. The Orange and Fett Show released episode 106, Transformers Ruse of the Beasts. Is that really the title? Ruse of the Beast?
It's Rise of the Beast.
It says Ruse.
The Ruse of the Beast.
It says Ruse of the Beast.
That's the sequel. That's when the beasts start
it's a ruse.
playing tricks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ruse of the Beast. I just read what's on the teleprompter. This past Friday on Spotify and Apple. So, episode 106 for the Orange and Fett Show. Wow, goddamn, it's fucking crazy. No news from Sweet Studios, Layman's Terms, or Frogmore Art this week. So, yeah, you can still go follow them on the socials. You can find us at bio.link/the Sidebar Cantina, where you can find our links to Patreon, YouTube, our audio podcast on Apple, Audible, and Spotify, our social media platforms, including X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, and Discord. Once you get to the bio link, simply click the symbols under our pick to the platform of choice. You can also find all our past Spotify mixtape playlists. I don't think my mouth is in sync with my whatevers. Also in our bio, it's like it's a bad dubbing. There's a bad dubbing over today.
Like a little delay or something.
Yeah, there's a delay. Also in our bio link is a T-Bug merch shop. Choose from 7 designs on everything from t-shirts and hoodies to tote bags, phone cases, exclusive stickers, pins, wall art, magnets, notebook, laptop cases, pillows, just about everything you can imagine.
Good fake out.
Nothing says love it like naked Jason chick on a pillow. Pillow! Go to bio.link/the Sidebar Cantina and click merch. Reviews!
Of course, as always, no new reviews.
Hey, people, come on now. Come on.
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
Come on. More reviews. Please read the reviews. You know, it's been lit the entire time.
Yeah,
it's very distracting.
Oh, really?
You
could have said something.
I should have said something because I was like, it's already bad enough because I'm like squirrel. But then, look, the light. Look at the candle.
I can't help it. It's so pretty.
Like a moth to the flame. What were we talking about? Yeah, it's bad. I should have said something.
Yeah, and no new reviews.
Please. Pretty please. With sugar on it. Write us a fucking 5-star review on Apple or Audible. Don't have an Apple or Audible account? Our Facebook page has a review feature too. Just screenshot your review before you hit done. And DM us the pic on Instagram or Twitter with your name and address so Luna Girl can send you a super cool ATSW swag pack. This is your chance to tell us what your thoughts are about the show. Jason or me or Hank or... Hank. Wow. You all right over there?
No, not at all.
Or Edith, or Mama, or Drunk Brokaw, or somebody fun, or the opera guy. He was fun. Haven't you seen my movies? We'll read your review word for word on our next episode. Let us know who you want to read it. Finally, if you catch us on Spotify, help us out and click those stars. If you're listening to us on audio, please consider... You're probably not, because it's some idiot needs to post the shows. That guy. Please consider joining us in the live channel Mondays. That's tonight. Today is Monday.
Yes.
The chat is most definitely where it's at. If you are new to a Sidebar, please subscribe, ding that bell, select all to receive notifications of when we go live. Remember to smash that like button. It really helps us out. And that's it. That's the end.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
This is the end.
All right. Now you need to go because I have to ask Dave something.
All right.
So See you next week, maybe?
Maybe.
All right.
Bye.
I think she's got to wash her hair, man. Oh, yeah. Her hair is getting real matty. And she almost looks like she's got dreadlocks.
Very grungy.
Yeah. So before we finish this, what do you think about the new this new tackle rule that they put in the NFL that they approved today?
Bullshit.
Yeah.
It's complete horseshit.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I don't know how. Try not to step on that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're supposed to. I don't know how a defender, as somebody who coached football, I don't know how you coach a tackle anymore.
Right.
Like against somebody who is as athletic or more athletic than you are.
Yeah.
Like a pursuit angle that's going to take you to a particular point, and you can't go low. You can't, there's no horse collar. Now you can't grab around the waist. Like, I understand the rationale.
Right. At the end of the day, they're trying to do it for player safety, but there comes a point where you're getting so fucking restrictive that this is just going to be an offensive game. Like, there is going to be no defense anymore.
Yeah, because the defender, like, you're not going to want to absorb all the penalties.
Right.
I guess my problem is you can't litigate your way to player safety in a game where you have just gladiators. That this is what they are fine-tuned machines, that this is what they do. This is their profession.
It's part of the game. It's an unfortunate part of the game. Some people have gotten very seriously hurt, but at the end of the day, that's what football is. And when they've already just hamstrung the fucking defenders so much.
Yeah.
Like, it pisses me off now. Anytime there is an incomplete pass, they're immediately looking for a flag. Every fucking play. And it's not about who played good defense or who played good offense anymore. It's like, how many penalties can we get called on these guys?
If you're a smart offensive coordinator, you have a play that runs a route that is going to have a rub route where you're going to have a contested ball, and it's either going to result in a catch or could be a PI.
Yeah.
Where you're going to get the ball, deep and get the first down, or it'll get intercepted and it'll be like a punt.
Yeah. That
play, everyone has that in their playbook. And it's smart because that's what you have to do now. Now if you're planning an offense, this is what you're doing. And yes, it is an offensive game, but at some point, it's football, and people don't want to watch flag football.
Right.
They want to watch. The billions of dollars that are spent in this industry are spent because of the contact.
Yeah.
And this is you make it far and away safer by, yes, you're teaching good technique and you're doing your best to ensure that you're not deliberately going out to hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a gladiator game. It just is.
Yeah.
And you know what? You can't nerf every fucking thing in the world. Right? Try nerfing things try nerfing our careers. Right?
Yeah.
Try doing that. Like, where's the outrage for that? Where's the outrage for all the veterans that are out there with their fucking shit knees and everything else for going out there and like, oh, well, we volunteered to do that and we were compensated for it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so are these guys. So at some point, like, I get it. Like, TBI is a real thing. Like, people need to be cognizant of it. This game is far and away safer than it ever was. Like,
oh yeah,
you watch the games that fucking Lawrence Taylor and fucking Andre Waters and fucking even as late as Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
These guys were hitting you and you fucking knew it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You fucking knew it. And they hit you to be remembered.
Mm-hmm.
You know, guys like Andre Waters, man, they were dirty as shit too. They were they were going to try and make your knee turn around like a fucking pelican.
Yeah.
So it's just, I would be curious to see, like, is the number of injuries, like head injuries specifically, is there a TBI percentage that's related enough to like a whipping of, like, from this hip tackle? Because the videos that I saw that the NFL produced for, okay, this is what they showed for the committee, I think a vast majority of those tackles were not egregious.
Yeah.
Like you weren't seeing something that was like, okay, this was causing injury. Like I want to see the numbers. You
Yeah.
know, as a human factors person, I want to see the numbers. I want to see the statistical data that says, like, okay, this is the cause and effect.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I think it's dumb. I think it'll work itself out. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look, baseball season's around the corner, and I love baseball. I really do.
Yeah.
But it's obviously not the same.
No,
The intensity
definitely
level's not the same. You
Yeah.
know, you enjoy my enjoyment of baseball is about, like, you know, the relaxing part of it. You know, yeah, there's excitement, but it's more of like, it's about being outside. It's about kind of enjoying the ballpark and, you know, all that stuff. Football is about fucking intensity. It's about warriors.
Yeah. Maybe that's why your fans are so crazy too.
Well, I mean, it's because they have nothing else to live for, so they just pour themselves into the fucking football team.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't, or at least they think they have nothing else to live for. So they drink and go Birds.
Right.
I mean,
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to get your opinion on that since we had a couple extra minutes.
no, it's bullshit. It's egregious and it's bullshit. And I really, we'll see what happens. I just, as a coach, I just don't know how I really don't know how you coach it. Like,
Yeah.
if you've got, you know, you got peewees right now, you got like your 80 pounders, right? How are you coaching them to make sure that they don't use their body weight as leverage to pull somebody to the ground,
Like,
right? To make a tackle.
that's how I had to tackle some big
Right.
people.
Right.
You
Because
know?
of the size difference.
Yeah.
What are you doing to coach around that? You know, initially just looking at it, I didn't have an answer right away. I mean, these guys that are, you know, coaching full time. I mean, there's so many clinics and everything else. I mean, there's people that are, so many more people that are making their living, like, prepping younger kids for coaching. Too many.
Okay. I wasn't sure where you were going with that for a second. You said prepping young kids. I'm like, well, what is he about to say?
They're prepping for, like, football and stuff like that. I think parents spend way too much money getting, like, I've gone on this rant before, but like, instead of spending, you know, $2,000 to fucking have your kid in some sort of fucking, you know, football prep camp for 3 weeks in the summer, let them play fucking baseball or not do anything.
Sure.
You know, just fucking go out and play.
Yeah.
Just do stuff, because guess what? He's going to go play a fucking sport on his own. That's what I did.
Yeah.
You know, we played more. I played more fucking football, and I played. We found lacrosse sticks, you know, and fucking threw lacrosse balls at each other, you know, randomly.
Yeah.
You know, it just, we always, when we got the opportunity, we would do shit like that.
Yeah. Me and my friends, we always played basketball. If we weren't doing something football related, it was always basketball.
Yeah, I had a net in front of my house, so it was. You know what I did? You know how I best utilized that net, actually? Is I would throw a football through it. So we lived on a dead end street. So
Yeah.
I'd be out front, and I'd like roll out like I was on like a pass,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd, you know, roll out right and throw and get the ball, you know, go into the net, and I just would go like all different places around the street
Yeah.
and just like just work on accuracy that way.
Be a good way to do it.
I'll tell you what, I've been really I never really took advantage of it for anything because I wasn't talented enough, but I could always fucking throw.
Yeah.
I always had that ability. I just never had any size around it. You know, that's what hurt me in high school football, like not making a team. But yeah, I could always I always had power in my arm and accuracy. But the other thing I used to do too is, which is funny, talk about baseball, that I would go out in my backyard. We had a cement wall in our backyard, and it was about 40 feet, like from one part of the patio to where this wall was. And I drew a catcher on that wall, and I would throw tennis balls.
You just pitch?
And I just pitch.
Wow.
And I'd work on, trying to throw a breaking ball or trying to throw, I would just pitch. I'd do that for hours.
Yeah.
And until I got called in to go do something or whatever, my sisters would wake up from a nap or whatever. But I'd stand out there and I'd throw that tennis ball for hours.
That's cool.
And it taught me a lot about how to throw. Yeah. Taught me how to keep myself occupied for a fucking couple hours.
Right. That's something that's sorely missing in these days, but we don't have time to get into that because it is now 8:00.
Yep.
So we are gonna
the witching hour.
End things here. Again, Master and Apprentice next week. After all these years, we're finally getting to it. That's pretty much it. Follow us on social media, and until next time, Dave and everybody else, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Okay, now what do I click? That.
All right.
That's what I click.
Yes. Oh, man. Oh, I gotta go back to work tomorrow.
Were you off for a while?
No, just today. And of course, Saturday, Sunday, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not the worst job I've ever had. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to tell myself the same thing.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at how well they recreated that fucking vinyl robe of his. That's like the most impressive part of this.
That's
Black Series
bonkers,
series.
man.
Yeah.
That really is.
Now, what's disappointing is that his lightsaber isn't yellow, because if you remember those early Obi-Wan figures, his lightsaber was yellow. And it was the one that extracted from the arm.
Yeah, I remembered it sliding out of the arm.
Yeah. Yeah, that first wave, that's how they did the lightsabers.
I don't think I had an Obi-Wan.
No?
I had a Darth Vader. Who the lightsaber came out.
Yep. Yeah, I had the
But
Vader.
I don't think I had a... Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because he was brown.
Yeah.
I had a brown one, not an orange one, though.
Okay.
At least I think it was brown. I don't know. Our early childhoods were barely color. I was still in that transition period from black and white to color. So we are products of that generation that we had black and white television.
Yeah, my first TV that was mine was a black and white TV. My grandmother bought it for me. It was like fucking some little 14-inch gimmick, but like when I got my first NES, that's what I hooked it up to.
Yeah.
Like
watching Transformers and G.I. Joe in black and white.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just the way it happened.
Until it was my first. Fact is, I had that television set until we moved to Runnymede. I mean, I had it from.
Wow.
We had this 13-inch Magnavox, right? I got it for Christmas.
That's probably what I had, honestly.
Yeah, it had an infrared remote.
Oh, mine didn't have a remote.
Yeah,
mine was just the two knobs.
Well, the black and white was like that, but
yeah.
I got a color set, my first color set.
Oh, gotcha.
It was a 13-inch Magnavox, and it had a remote. And I mean, I was probably like maybe, I don't know, I was in middle school, I think.
Mm-hmm.
and I had that TV. I mean, I took it with me to the military. I took it with me to fucking Keesler.
Oh, no shit.
I took it, brought it back. We had it in the apartment. I took it with me when we lived on base, and then I had it in the Florida room when we first moved to Runnymede. I had it up in the corner when I had the tiki bar set up.
Nice.
And it was one of the TVs that was in there, and it still fucking worked.
Wow.
I had a PS2 hooked up to it. And it wasn't until when we took down the tiki bar, and I still had it, and it just got to a point where it was like, why am I keeping this? Like it just didn't make sense to keep it, and then I ended up getting rid of it. But yeah, I had the thing for decades.
Nice.
Decades. It still worked.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's transferring. I gotta pee.
All right. We were playing with lightsabers before the show. I still absolutely love these Ahsoka sabers that I got. It's the two blades, the more curved handle, and then the kind of straighter one. And one's shorter than the other. But I love these. The sound. Uh-oh. All right, let's do it together. And they whoops. They clash really well. The handles vibrate when you clash. So good. Love it. I put a white kyber crystal in my build your own saber today. Kind of looks blue. It's supposed to be white though, but listen to the sound. It's got its own neat activation. I'm probably gonna put the yellow crystal back in this one though. I like that one better. All right, what the fuck's he doing? Okay, I'm gonna end the stream because I think Dave got lost. Taking a piss outside. So catch everyone later. Thank you for watching. We love you guys. See you next month. Week. Next week.